Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck Sim live stream. Today it's the 2nd of April 2026, 34 minutes past 7 in the evening here in the United Kingdom. We're back in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 in the recently released iniBuilds Lockheed Martin L-1011 TriStar. Got it all at once there. Now, the reason I fumbled there is because I've had to change my call sign on VATSIM. Someone's already the Delta 1011. I'm now the Delta 1010. So I had to quickly look at my call sign and it completely threw me off guard here. Yes, this iconic aircraft built in the 1970s, 250 built. We're flying as Delta. Here we are in Atlanta, Georgia, flying to Nassau in the Bahamas. This was the largest operator of the Lockheed L-1011 TriStar. Flight time first day 1 hour 40 minutes. Purchased the aircraft on what day was it? 2 days ago, Tuesday, and I'm not one of these guys that purchases and then just basically streams it straight away. It's annoying when you watch me fumble around here and having absolutely no clue what I'm doing. Well, I do have absolutely no clue what I'm doing, but I've minimised the fumbling to an acceptable amount today. So yes, it's a completely unique aircraft, nothing like I've ever flown before. Funky automated systems, funky autopilot, still has an engineer's panel which you need to configure prior to departure. So look, I've done a couple of test sectors. I can get you from A to B. There's going to be mistakes. You know, I've said this several times before and I'll say it again. I'm hardwired flying a Boeing 737. So look, we'll get it there in one way, but I've been brave enough to go on the VATSIM network today. We already have ATC in Atlanta. The flight plan is conventional. Well, it's actually based off the real world routing for this sector, but I've sort of modified it slightly to go between some nav aids. And if all goes well, we'll do the procedural arrival into Nassau, and I'm being even braver. I'm going to try and do a DME arc into Nassau onto ILS runway 14. So yeah, flight time 1 hour 40 minutes. This is the freeware scenery included with the Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. It's okay, it does the job. Anyway, who have we got here in chat? We've got Orb505. Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Greg Scott, just like normal then. Yeah, it's going to be a normal stream. Hope you're doing well. 000 straight away I can clip something. What did I say? I don't even want to know. Gary Field, good day to you. It looks amazing. It is an exceptional looking aircraft, and credit to iniBuilds. The external modelling and interior modelling in Cockpit look very, very nice indeed. The autopilot, the systems, it's, yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about this aeroplane, but I've been reading a few posts on Reddit. There's some things that are missing and need to be tidied up, but you can get from A to B in one piece, which is the main thing. Hope you're doing well. Steve M4005, good day to you. Mike Delta 11, good evening. Andy, good day to you as well. Nice to see you here. Josiah Plays, Ruben Schwartz, good day to you as well. Spitfire F100, good evening. Alan Bandit says, wow, this bird is awesome. It does look very, very nice indeed. And Gary Field, I don't know if I said hello to you. Matt Fender, you're here too. 60 Bo, howdy, good day to you. Josiah Plays, I'm too much of a magenta line pilot for this. Yes, me too in a way, but it's nice to try something different than sort of the magenta line aircraft like the Airbus and Boeing. We're very spoiled, us modern airline pilots of the 21st century, but we'll take it, and this is certainly going to make me work hard here. What was that fly? Oops, shift. Not. Did I say something else? Did you say something else? I don't know. Good day to you. HMSJ, well, wasn't the overall consensus that the in-depth system's coming later for this aircraft? Possibly. There's things like, you know, the packs aren't registering there as properly. The fuel burn seems to be a bit iffy my side. I don't know. But it's certainly usable, and I think, you know, its iniBuilds quality is pretty decent. Certainly good enough to take onto the liner as well. Anyway, let's have a little look at the external model. Very nice indeed. I've seen a picture of this actual aircraft in the original livery as well. I love this sort of polished aluminium bottom half as well. Obviously it's promoting the Atlanta Olympics of 1996 where I was a young wee boy, and there we are, 3 RB211s all nicely in here. I mean, the design of the S-duct and the cowling, it's all really, really nice. You see all the individual panels there, but yeah, look, the external detailing is really nice. You can see the sort of acoustic lining there in the cowling. There's one of the RB211s down there. Looks really nice. That looks old school as well, that tail. Very, very cool. Such a legendary airliner. And you know what, I went on one of these as a kid. I was actually thinking back, I haven't got any pictures, but you know, mobile phones, smartphones didn't exist back in my day. I definitely flew on one of these to Atlanta. I can't remember which airline it was. My grandfather's brother lived in Atlanta, and we definitely went over as a kid in one of these, and we came back on an MD-11. And I've got a picture of me in the MD-11, but it was definitely a TriStar because I remember the sort of film and the cinema. But yeah, I was fortunate enough to fly on one of these as a young wee man many years ago in the 90s. Why does this plane always remind me of the movie Passenger 57 by Delta 11? I can't remember what that film is. Don't know. Hope you're doing well. Aaron says, pretty sure I went to one to Orlando. Yeah, I went to Atlanta years ago. But yeah, I mean, this was the sort of the trailblazing jet of the sort of end of the 20th century as well. Someone Klein, V1 was just talking about you. Was he saying, I'm the best content creator available on YouTube? Don't watch me, watch him. Oh, was he streaming at the moment? Ah, well, there you go. Go check him out. I think he's been flying this aircraft for a few days, which is very nice. But anyway, let's jump into the aircraft. Good things. He's a good lad. He's a good lad, V1. Very good. And a 737 pilot now, flying the superior aircraft. You know, he's inspired by all my content today. Right, anyway, perfect. Into the cockpit we've jumped, completely cold and dark, and look, we've got a longer flight time than usual, 1 hour usual, 1 hour 40 minutes. We'll have a good look at the cabin. But yeah, the interior design of this is really well modelled by iniBuilds. Looks fantastic. You've got this sort of conventional display, the 6 instruments, the HSI with the ball, this sort of modern looking autopilot. You imagine when this aircraft came out in the 70s, this is well ahead of its time. First certified aircraft to do Autoland's Cat 3s as well. Overhead panel's quite busy. A lot of this you don't need to manipulate or touch. It's sort of automated. Here's an engineer's panel, not as complex I don't think as the Fearless 747-200, or I should just say the 747-200. Again, a bit of automation there. It's very challenging to work out how the electric schematic works and the air conditioning systems. A lot of needles, a lot of gauges here. Again, we're spoilt in real life these days with everything we have to do. But yeah, I'm not sure about this wooden interior. Whoever designed that in the sort of 60s when it first flew reminds me of like a cabin you'd have sort of in the 20th century to sort of do your things in your office. But anyway, very nice. Here we are in the cockpit, completely cold and dark. Everything's set up for the tri-jet too. If I turn on yoke cam, I've got my 3 engines as well. The yoke cam all set up too. MCP's not yet modelled. The wing control want to work with this aircraft. Maybe an update at some point. But anyway, let's get the aircraft powered up. So I'm sort of following a combination of my own sort of preparation and checks here. I've got the normal procedures pre-flight preparation, which is included with the aircraft. It's a fantastic manual, actually. I'm on page 122, which is the start of the normal procedures, but it goes into an incredible amount of detail regarding all the systems, which is quite nice. The normal procedures checklist is a little bit basic. It sort of says things like flight engineer panel lights set. Where is it here? Sort of, it's like it just says overhead panel set later on with minimal configuration. So, you know, like I said, a lot of it is sort of set up already. You don't need to do a huge amount. But anyway, let's get some power on this aeroplane. We'll just turn the battery on over here and turn on the standby power system. Might as well turn on the emergency exit lighting. Go over here to the tablet. I'm a big fan of this tablet. I really like it. It's got full synchronization with SimBrief, so you can get your charts up and whatnot. So OFB is already loaded. Is that the one? No, yeah, 1900 Zulu off here. Charts as well. There's a little bug with this aircraft. Now, I downloaded the aircraft to have on my hard drive, and I didn't have the option to select my Navigraph charts. And I went on the iniBuilds Discord server. It said, yeah, at the moment you have to use the stream version to be able to use your Navigraph charts. So I had these horrible German Lido ones instead, and I didn't like them at all. So I just made sure I was streaming the aircraft. Anyway, menu, ground power selected. So if I now go back to the engineers panel, you'll see here you can turn on the external power. No, did I select external power on? Ground. There we are. GPU tick, and then you can see external power on. There we are. So external power is connected. Now I'm sort of going to do a little panel scan, which I've sort of learned myself getting the aircraft prepared. So first thing, I'm just going to put all the INSs to standby. Compass slaved to the HSI slaved to the compass. Anti-skid's already on. Automatic braking. Select takeoff after engine start. All the flight controls and whatever PFCS monitor. You don't need to select any of this. It's just all on with the default settings. Engine start's all configured too. We'll leave it on A for start. Air data sensors, engine anti-ice, wing anti-ice, all on by default. Make sure you turn on the radio master switches. You don't see these really on modern aircraft these days, but they're selected on. HF is all good, and then lights, we'll just have the position lights on. We need to refuel, so I'll leave the seatbelt sign off. No smoking on, because we are going to refuel. You can light up after takeoff. We'll set up the MCP later, and I just want to get the APU started and get GSX up and running. I updated GSX before the stream. There was about 25,000 updates since I last streamed a week ago, so we'll request boarding. Fully loaded flight today, 243 passengers, that's how many seats we have on board, so requested the boarding. You can see the air bridge is being connected and the Delta crew would come along and do their thing. So, whilst that's going on, we can go here to load sheet. Sim brief import, look at that, you can see the aircraft already hunkering down on its gear. We've got maximum passengers, they're checked in bags, the fuel load as well, so 22.4 tonnes. If I bring up my operational flight plan, I've checked the weather en route, looks okay, a bit windy in Nassau, but nothing really is going to prevent us from getting in there. But you can see here the zero fuel weight, or I should say the takeoff weight, 157.7. Which I've highlighted here. You'll see it's a little bit higher, the gross weight at the moment, because I put 20 minutes of taxi fuel on board. We've got to get to the other side of the airport here in Atlanta. So the fueling's loaded. As far as SimBrief is concerned, or the tablet, all the passengers are on board. Obviously, we're going to have the GSX simulation of the passengers boarding, which is absolutely fine. So that's all done. GPU's connected. We'll let GSX manage the doors and jetways. Exactly, all automatically. OFP we can look at later. Right, anyway, that's going on now. So lighting's fine for now. Instrumentation's all set. What on earth is this thing? I don't want that. That's cheating. I thought I'd return that off. Is it the aircraft?
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Yeah, sync altimeters. That's fine. Yeah, map display screen off. There we are. We're not using any map displays today, guys. We're going old school. Right, INS. It's very different to the SIVA INS I've used previously. Is it called Litins or something like this one? It works in a similar fashion, but there's a few things you need to do that's different to the SIVA, and a few things you need to do on this computer setup before takeoff. Great. She sounds like she's about to finish her shift. Radio tuning panel then we'll just configure, because I am on VATSIM today. VHF 1 on, and make sure that's turned up. I've not been on VATSIM on this aircraft, this could be fun. Right, engineers panel then. So there's some things that you can sort of utilise an inbuilt engineer to do. It does the absolute basics, but we're going to sort of scan here and do our own thing. So this is all configured as we need. The hydraulics, the electrical system's all powered. We best turn on the galley buses as well. IDGs, it's a level of automation like the Airbus. Sort of the IDGs automatically connect. Fuel pumps, are they all on? Oh, what happened there? They were all on, but now they've just all turned off automatically. Strange. I'll turn them all on. Fuel preloaded. Anyone got this aircraft? Because I've noticed here I can press the total fuel's correct, so 22.2 is there, but if I press this button it comes up with gross weight of 351 tons. I want to put in my actual gross weight, which is 157.7, and the only way to set this up is to hold this rotation down. Look how slow it is. I do not want to sit here for 20 minutes to set this to 157.7, so is there a way of syncing this somehow? Because if I press this, it defaults to 351.2 tons. I don't even know what that figure is, because the maximum is 231.3. Maybe it's pounds, I don't know. It's an American aeroplane after all, but that's configured and set. This overhead panel is bonkers. We'll leave the bleed controls as they are because we don't have the AP on at the moment. The engine status is all okay. Have sufficient engine oil and hydraulic fluid. Pressurization system then, what I'm going to do is preset our cruise level of 370. What's the weather like here in Atlanta? The QNH is we're in America, aren't we? The inches of mercury is 3021. 3021, that will do. This will be for the outflow valves, 2 outflow valves by the looks of it. Packs, someone said the pack flows aren't modelled, it doesn't seem to show any airflow, but we'll have to see how that gets on. Another thing that's not modelled are the brake temperatures. You can test it and the needle goes there, but I did a landing with max manual braking and they didn't register any temperature at all, so I don't know if that's another bug. Or a warning test. Yes, you can do all the fault and fire tests as usual. So like with the 7.3 actually, you can test each loop individually. So if I press A then B, you get no fire bell, but if you select both of them, you get the fire test. So both loops need to detect an overheat to fire, basically. You've got a nacelle pilot overheat test and a wheel well fire test as well. So there you are. Many aircraft are quite the same. Another thing, I was very excited to see that all these circuit breakers seem to pop out. I don't think they're modelled. I think it's just an animation of the switch. So I was sort of, well, not all of them you can click. So things like voice control, I pulled all of them out, but didn't seem to impact the system. So hopefully there. You can click and drag. Oh, can you, Byron? So if I click this and drag. No, I'm dragging, and it's doing it at the same ridiculous slow pace. So I don't know if it's I don't know if there's any way of doing it quicker. And as soon as I press that, it resets to 350 odd. It's okay. We just won't use it. I don't know what this is. It's not modelled. There's no click spots. This is not modelled. There's no click spots. Fire cargo compartment tests, smoke detection tests. That's not modelled. So you know, it's a lot there. Some seem to work, some seem to work. So there we are. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with the overhead panel. Just in case I've missed anything, I'm going to start the APU actually. Min mode start after the master power's on. So it does some self-tests. It says don't load. There's a APU inlet door that needs to go into transit, and then you can already see look, the engine. The APU engine is spooling up there in the background. New first officer is Wesley. We're going to go with that name, are we? Fantastic. Sorry, the setup on an aircraft like this is quite complex, so if I'm missing a few things, I do apologise. Larry, yeah, Lytton was a major manufacturer of aircraft systems and household appliances. My grandmother had a Lytton microwave. Well, that's from one extreme to the other. Microwave to complicated navigation systems. Love it. Lol, APU start after landing at Heathrow on VATSIM. That needs a keybind. It would be useful apart from because at the moment you've got to go all the way back here. Anyway, APU started. If I've missed anything, you have got this inbuilt aircraft weathering. I just saw the gauge increase. Oh dear. You have got this inbuilt autocomplete engineer who does some very basic steps. Look at my pre-flight preparation. Everything is set. I'm going to press autocomplete anyway. He's the most chilled out engineer ever. Very professional. Have a listen to this.
Got it. Pre-flighting now.
He's pre-flighting now. Got it. Wait for it. Oh, I can still hear him flicking switches, so maybe there was a few things I forgot.
Flow's done. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Was that sarcasm? I think it might have been sarcasm. Right, anyway, look. Engineer panel is set. Time to load the INS. Okay, so what we need to do... There's 3 INSs. There isn't a way, I think, with the Lytton INS to remote select all 3 and sync them. I believe this one is the only one synced with the navigation, so I'm not sure whether there's any point uploading the other 2. On my test sectors, I didn't bother. I just left them, and I only used this one, and it worked absolutely fine. So first things first, we need to work out our position. So let me bring up the chart. We are in Atlanta. We can expect 09 left for departure. Bit of a trek. We're on the Delta International Concourse, and we're on stand F4, Foxtrot 4. So we'll select here, parking gate coordinates, looking for Concourse E, and, oh no, is it, what did I say I was on? I can't even remember. International Concourse. There we are. Foxtrot 1 through Foxtrot 6. So this is the position we need to input into the Lytton FM INS. So first things first, go to position, insert your position. So it's 1 through 6. So right at the top here, so I don't get confused. North 33, 38, 3. Insert west. Unlike the SEVA, you have to put the 0 in here. If you don't put that 0, it doesn't register as a 0 by default, so you have to type 0. 8, 4, 25, 2, insert. So I've told the INS where I am. I will select a line. If you go here to track STS, you'll see it count down. I think I've got quick alignment on, so you can see it's going right down quickly to 0, 2. And you'll see I have the ready nav light already. So, yeah. I mean, I can update the position of each INS. I'm not going to bother because they're not modelled in any way or linked to the automation with the iniBuilds L-1011. It could be, I don't know, but I read somewhere that it's not, so there's literally no point using the other Litton INSs. Anyway, I've told it where I am. I've selected the INS to nav. I'm gonna to complete alignment. I think I've got to put the position on all three. Alright, I'm going to put the position in each one, so at least then they're all aligned, just to satisfy my sort of OCD. 33, 38, 3, insert, west, 084252, insert. Yeah, I think you've got to put the position to complete the alignment process. There you go, look. So let me just at least get all three INSs aligned. I'm not going to use the other two. Not that I ever do, actually, to be fair, in the Fearless 7.4. So again, one more time, position, north, 33, 38, 3, 33, 38, 3, insert, west, 084, 25, 2. Right, at least it's done. And now I should find ready nav, so nav, and then on this one, because I've got a quick alarm on, there we are, ready nav. Perfect, so all three INSs are aligned. Now we've got to put in our routing. So the routing today, I was going to say, it's a long aircraft to set up, guys, I do apologise, but it is what it is, and I don't want to use any of the sim brief cheap features. I want to do it as realistic as possible. So today, the SID I chose is an Atlanta 2. This is, all the other SIDs are RNAV based. This is RNAV, BRNAV only, so it's not certified to fly RNAV SIDs. So we're going to fly this conventional SID, 9 left, basically climb on heading 095 to 1400 feet, and then it'll be some sort of en route clearance. I already received a PDC. We'll double check with the approach controller, who is online. Essentially, we're going to request nominally directional departure, then route direct to Hespe, which is the first waypoint we're going to program. 9 waypoints on total, so bear with me. Couray is going to be the final waypoint, and then I'm going to fly a DME arc onto runway 14, which is going to be great fun in this trijet. Anyway, let's get these waypoints in. This is incredibly boring. If you want to go make yourself a cup of tea, absolutely fully understandable. Just going to put these coordinates in. However, I would appreciate if at least some of you are watching for input error. So look, let's put these waypoints in. Hespe to start with. So we're going to go to waypoint number 1. Get typing. North, 33, 14, 4, insert, west, 084, oh gosh, I need to highlight this, 084056. Who watched the rocket launch yesterday? Amazing. It was so exciting. The camera sort of cut out a bit, but it was super to watch it live. I think the guys are about to do their increase their orbit height this evening, aren't they? Which is pretty cool. Kerbal Space Program, you know, wants me to play it again. Yanti, next, north, 31, 47.4, north, 31, 47.4, insert, west, 08, oh no, you've got to put the 0, oh no, reselect west, 082. So used to not putting the 0 in the Seaver. There we are, insert, waypoint number 3. We're at nearly a third of the way there, guys. North, 30, 37.4, 30, 37.4, insert. Welcome, Toasted Toaster, to the channel. Thanks for your subscription. What a handle. 081460. Also, another thing, YouTube have updated their latency, so without reducing quality, the latency now between chat and my stream and you watching it live is 3 seconds. It's almost live. You know, I say something, you hear it 3 seconds later. It's very cool. They reduced it from 10 to 3 seconds recently. Right, Debril, number 4, north, 29.17.8, 29.17.8, insert, west, 081.080, insert. Waypoint number 5, Treasure. This is a DME only station. North, 27.47, 27.47, insert, west, 080.294, insert. Nearly there. Waypoint number 6, getting through these. How does VATSIM deal with INS-equipped aeroplanes? Well, they should be able to see your flight plan and still clear you direct to waypoints. And this INS, you can obviously route direct to any waypoint that you're programmed to. If they give you a new operational flight plan or give you a waypoint that's not in the INS, that's a bit of a pain. So I just request standard routing, you know, or something like that, or vectors. Make them work for their rate on their radar. North 2715.8. Insert west 079491. Insert waypoint number 7. Freeport, which is our alternate, funny enough, it's VOR on the airport. North 2631.1. 31.1. Insert west 078465. Insert. Oh, waypoint number 8. I missed my FMC. 8. Hanks. North 2541.2. 2541.2. Insert west 077292. Insert. And lastly, number 9, which is Kouré. That's the final waypoint on the DME arc, basically the start of the DME arc. So north 2515.6. 2515.6. Insert west 077276. Insert. There we go. I feel like I have RSI on my wrist now. Right, that's good. Now, to activate this, you need to make sure you go to track change 01 insert, and that activates the INS. So if I go here to distance time, you can see that we're 28 miles from our first waypoint here. If I scroll up, Hespe, and it would take us apparently 3.4 minutes. I don't know what the speed's based off there. But there we are. It's in. Now, whilst we're right next to the INS, you have this funky little computer where you need to input some data. Now, to activate it, you need to, for some reason, update the time. So none of this will work until you do that. So I'll update the time. 1901 Zulu. Speed brake's in the way, so let's extend that. Insert, and now I can put in lots of other information. So whilst the boarding's ongoing, how many passengers have we got there? 183. Okay, that's going on well. We were due off stand 1 minute ago. Never mind. Let's do the takeoff performance and get some figures here. So you can sync all your data. So takeoff gross weight will be 159.3 tons. We're at 773. It's 28 degrees. It says in the iniBuilds manual, flat 14 is optimal. I don't know if this is a bug, because when you press calculate and set bugs EPR, oh no, it didn't do it. When I did the other sector, it went to 22, but I don't know why it worked now. So set bugs and EPR, and look, you can see all the speed bugs have updated. Rolls-Royce, you get EPR figures. Takeoff will be 0.637. There's no auto throttle toga mode, so you have to set the thrust manually, and then we'll initially reduce thrust to 486, reduce climb. 28 degrees, flat 14, stab trim 4.19, so I can set that now. Or ooh, there we are. The stab trim is... Does it really move as quick as that? From full travel at 10 to 0, that's a huge control surface you're moving. I mean, on the 737 it's about 360 spins for the full travel. This is about a quarter. So, about 1,200 less spins. But anyway, 4.2 seems about set. And, yeah, the auto-engineer... That's it, Brian Crossman, you're right. That's what I'm thinking. The auto-engineer selects flap 22 for takeoff. He seems to ignore whatever you've set here in the tablet. I'm going to make a note of these speeds. It's mostly these climb speeds. This is fantastic. I love this from iniBuilds. This minimum manoeuvre speed for each flap setting, so it tells you how to retract the flaps. So the clean speed, look, is 217 knots, and it's this figure here you set on the speed bug. So that's the up speed, essentially. And it tells you, look, when you're at 207, select flaps up. When you're 167, select flap 4, etc, etc. So you've got like a flap retraction schedule, which is pretty cool. There we are. That's all configured and set there. So performance is done. Let's finish setting this. So, as we said, the sit-stop altitude is 10,000 feet. We'll brief it in a second. Taking off from 9 left here. So the QDM is 095. So we'll just set the heading and courses to 095. Everything's lined up then with the runway. and the heading bug 095. I'm going to do a raw data departure. I'm going to leave the flight directors off and set the thrust and then re-engage the automation. There is like a toga button and a toga mode. What it does exactly, I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, look, MCP set. That panel's set. My APU is running. We'll just make sure we're getting power from it. There we are. So APU's on the bus, so I can actually disconnect the external power. There we are. No loss of power. Ground. Disconnect the GPU. We'll just get some bleed air into the aircraft. So bleed air, you can see the pressure building, and I think for engine start we have to open the crossfeed valves and close an isolation valve, but essentially you need to make sure you've got sufficient pressure, and then you cross bleed start the other engines. But there we are, we have pressure. Engineer panel set, INS loaded, performance complete. I think essentially we just need to brief the taxi SID and we're ready to go. We're just going to wait for boarding. Is there anything else I can get my engineer to do? We've got pre-flight preparation, engine start. Okay, so he has to do a few things here. I'll get him to do that, just in case I've missed anything. But look, we're ready to go, guys, pretty much. Taxi, we're going to push back here from Concourse Foxtrot, stand F4, face south. Will either be Lima or Mike, left, right turn out the apron, and then we'll go full length for 9 left. And then the SID, Atlanta 2, as we've already briefed, look, for 9 left, climb on heading 095 to 1400 feet, top altitude 10,000 feet. Maintain 10,000 feet on reaching. PDC, and then you have some waypoints. None of these are on my flight plan. If I overlay it, look, I'm just going to go to Hespe, and that's the beginning of an airway. I think that's why I selected it. Yeah, Hespe joins this airway basically. We're flying existing airways all the way to where am I going? Nassau, Bahamas. So it's pretty cool, Right, PDC received. So L-1011 departure Atlanta. Routing is correct as per flight plan. Altitude 370. Squawk 2516. 2516. Ah, boarding complete. This is looking good, guys. I'm going to put that to out off. Interestingly, out off doesn't give me mode C. Out on does. But it would make sense. But in real life, we use out off because you don't need mode C for pushback. You just do out off and they'll see you on ground radar. But anyway, I've done that there. Oh, there's no ATC now. That's a shame. Oh, we're unicomming. I suppose that's a good thing in a way. I swear I saw Atlanta approach online. Maybe he got scared. Right, that's all configured and set. I think we're ready to go, guys. I'm just going to get my laid-back engineer to do some things. Autocomplete.
Going through the engine startup flow.
Please.
1 moment, please, Captain.
19. Oh, CTAF, thank you.
Captain, flow complete. Back to you now.
Back to me. Thank you. I forgot we're in America. CTAF. Alright. Oh. Don't like how that flicked over. Right. Oh no, it's one of these old school, silly, early 20th century radios. Anyway, back to the studio. Right, I think I've covered everything, guys. Just remember all the buttons there. So that's I think that's autopilot disconnect. That's the toga button. Quick poll in chat. General consensus. Should I do a complete raw data departure or shall I de-toga it? I think now because I pressed that I can't get rid of them because the flight directors are off look, but I've got flight directors now. Uh-oh. Anyway. Why is this stuff still there? Oh yeah, because I need to say ready for pushback. Yeah, that's it. No, I want to use my pushback on map because it's far easier to do that. But this better pushback update is really nice. No, oh, I've screwed up my pushback. You can't see it, thank goodness. Clear routes, something like that. Something like that. Perfect. Save route.
Release parking brakes, please.
Get out of the way. Alright, there's nothing blocking us. I think that... Oh. Well, that aircraft I might be blocking. Well, there's another bug, I think, as well. I've come back into the cockpit. All the sounds have gone. The pack sounds. It's now incredibly quiet. Anyway, below the line. Anti-collision light on. Parking brakes set. Transponders out off. And the air conditioning system is set for engine start. Let's release the parking brake. You're good, that's me. Oh, thanks, Matt.
Push. All engines clear. clear.
So what's that? 9 minutes late? Not bad. Entire setup on this beast of an aircraft. Nav aid wise, I've not tuned anything. I suppose I could tune something, but there's nothing to use. Anyway, I'm following the PDF here for the engine start. So we start engine number 2 first. Galley power off. Oops, wrong button. So galley power's been turned off by the engineer. Pack 2 on, which I think is on auto automatically. All isolation valves latched. That's correct. And pneumatic pressure 24 psi minimum, which I have. So I have everything I need to start the engine. Ground start, push, and that's already done. Oh yes, we have some rotation. N3. You can hear those RB211s spooling up. Let me just turn up Microsoft Flight Simulator so you can hear it. So EPR, N1, oil pressure will be somewhere over here on the engineering panel, which I'm sure the engineer would be calling in real life. 20% N3, fuel on. You either have on or enrich, but it looks like it defaults to the enrich position. You can't actually select on, so sort of other RB211s, I think the 7.5 has that option too, but with that you can select both with the flight factor, I think. Anyway, it's obviously quite quiet because we're quite a fair way ahead of the engines. Awesome. Why did you say AOA? That's a fantastic question. I've had that on my test sectors as well, so I don't know if that's the autothrottle going into some sort of safety mode. Not that we use the autothrottle for takeoff, but I think once you get above a certain speed, that changes to speed mode or something, but we're going to do a manual departure anyway. Right, good start on engine number 2. So to start engine number 1, APU is in use, yes. Engine 2 isolation valve, unlatch. Oh, I've just rotated something and I have absolutely no idea what it was. Too many switches. So engine isolation valve, unlatch. Cross-speed valves are all latched, yes.
Please set parking brake.
And then start engine number 1. Okay, let's press start. Good. Parking brake set. Don't worry, your shift's nearly finished. Where's this parking brake? Oh my gosh, where's it gone? Staring me right in the face. Eh? Oh, oh dear. N3. N1. 20% fuel. Enrich. Fasten seatbelts, yes. Fuel is complete. Nice, sounds good. No L-1011 model matching. No, I shouldn't think there is. What do I look like,
Unlocking gear.
Matt Fender? She really is looking forward to the end of her shift. Alright, good start on engine number 1. And to start engine number 3, it says engine 1 isolation valve, unlatch.
Pin removed.
Engine 1 isolation valve.
Left is clear.
Unlatch.
Right is clear.
Okay, cross-speed start not required. Engine 3, start push. There we are. Starting engine number 3. It's got very dark outside. So is there like some sort of weird film on the windscreen? Look, it's like darker. I didn't even realise that. N3, EPR, M1. I'm sure the engineers checked oil pressure. 20% fuel on. That simulated wood paneling is chef's kiss. It does look very nice. Have to pull the plunger for the brakes, I know. I swear that's the same thing that's fitted to our aircraft, which keeps your feet warm. A foot warmer. Must have got it out of the parts box. Alright. 3 starts. Alright, after start flow, I'm going to use the engineer for this. This is what we were talking about earlier, wasn't it? So, engine start complete after start. he always sets flap 22. So it would be nice if they could actually configure it so it uses the selected takeoff performance flap, which is 14. So what I'm going to do is use it, but then manually select 14. So menu, after start,
Going through
and it
after start flow.
doesn't
One moment.
turn off the APU. So I'm going to sort of do my own operator's flow. I'm just going to change the flaps to 14 when he selects 22.
All set.
Flaps
That last
22.
flow
There we
was
are.
completed as requested.
So I've just manually selected the flap to 14, and then for my benefit, I'm just going to check anything here. So generators all on, APU. We need to make sure we turn off. So I've pressed stop. I'll just turn the master power off. Galley power on. Start switches, they'll be fine. Probe heats on. I've got pressurization spikes here. That's all configured and set. And isolation valves, there's none. Flaps 14. Flight controls. Let's have a look here. So you've got the flight control monitor here by the right hand side of the yoke. So full forward, full back, left, right. Lovely. And recoil sort of down here. There's no master cautions. And the stab trim is set for takeoff. Right, we're ready to go. Let's do taxi and turn off lights on. Atlanta traffic, hello, it's Delta 1010 taxiing to runway 9 left. So yeah, call sign Delta 1010 because someone was already using Delta 1011 on VATSIM. So we'll just wait for this aircraft ahead to go. Spool up time then on the engines. I've flown other add-ons with RB211s just to show you here. The M1 to 20. I think the spool up time's a little bit too quick. I might be completely wrong, but if you see here, 20% to 40 takes about a second. That I don't know. Ooh, what's that? Engine 2 fail. Reset. I don't know. I think 20 to 40% seems a little fast. I'm just gonna.
Roger, I just logged down to 220 knots.
Yeah, he's going now. Look, right, perfect. Parking brake. We can still do a config check, like you do in other aircraft. So, but the problem is the engine's like full power when you do that. All right, we're on our way. So, our current weight now 157 tons. The sounds are really nice. So 157 tons, obviously this gauge here, I'm not waiting 5 minutes to set that manually, but fuel on board is just over 22. And then we can also check on the takeoff performance, or is it, no, load sheet, there you go, you always get your weight here. 22.2 tons of fuel, so we use a bit of our taxi fuel, but I've set that to 20 minutes. So, there's no ATC here, I'm just going to follow this little, is it Brer? Clear left. There we are. A little bit of a right turn. Nose wheel's a little bit behind us. Oh, Ruben, is that you in the E-Jet? You meant to be an MD-11.
284, beginning left turn onto final for runway 08 left for about 25 mile final. Atlanta.
Alright, there we are on the parallel taxiway now.
That's 3156, clear from in right.
So press the magic B button, QNH or altimeter 3018, indicating 1,000 feet.
Atlanta traffic, Southwest 284, speed 205 knots, Atlanta.
Idle here. Ground speed you can get off the INS, so if I go here to all the way to left, look, track GS, there we are, so 19 knots ground speed, so we can keep an eye on that. It does say, I think in the iniBuilds manual, the maximum taxi speed is 25 knots, so I'll respect that. After start's complete, we don't need engine anti-ice or anything like that. Standard takeoff flap setting is flap 14, which we've selected. There we are. And the guidance then for takeoff is quite limited in the checklist. It just sort of says taxi, line up, do that. Packs configure that way. No guidance on sort of automation and whatnot, but that's fine. We'll wing it. We'll wing it. It's a really unique automatic system as well. Sort of reminds me when I flew the MD-80 for the first time, and I got really confused with that autopilot. I sort of can use it now, but I've got my head around it now. I think it's this sort of transition after takeoff to getting the correct modes, but we're gonna hand fly this departure anyway. Raw data. I mean, I have selected toggle already, so I might get some flight directors in pitch and roll, but I think it just maintains track or maintain runway heading. I don't know what it's NADP 201, but basically I'm going to climb straight ahead 3,000 feet above the ground. So that's 4,000 feet on the altimeter, and then I'm going to make that right turn, update the INS to route direct to Hesby, and then we'll level off at 10,000 feet. Just make sure the after takeoff checklist is done. We're configured and go from there. Larry, did some guy just call a 25-mile final on CTAF? I wasn't listening directly, but I guess that you that might be what you heard. Billy Nuts says KATL pilot starts at 55 knots. That's impressive. I don't think it's that fast, but they seem to speed around everywhere. Great noise outside.
Atlanta traffic, cover 34, going up to 190 knots. Atlanta.
Awesome. Steve, looks like I need something like FS realistic. Yeah, it's quite static, the taxiing around, no bumps and sort of sounds really associated with that. Seems to be on takeoff. The power is insane. I mean, I'm fully loaded, zero fuel weight wise. I could get a lot more fuel on because obviously this is a sort of medium to long haul aircraft, but it seems to use only about 1,000 meters of takeoff roll. It does have a squeaky rudder pedal. What does that say? Thank you for using our airport. That's nice. That's cool. Then we go over to distance and time. So we've got the DME distance here on the INS. I think this is always slave to the INS. You can't actually get this to show DME off the nav aids.
Atlanta traffic, Delta 1165 lining up runway and 9 left.
Perfect. So that's was that Ruben or was that you? I can't remember. Matt Fender. He's lining up now. What scenery is this, Matt? This is stock. It's a premium airport with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, so it's included with the game. I don't know if you need the premium version or something like that, but yeah, it's okay. I've heard it needs some big updates, but it's usable for me streaming. I think Orbex are making Atlanta, aren't they? Anyway, we'll hold short here at 9 right. Shut the line slightly. There we go. That's Ruben, perfect. Sounds are so cool on that, so I love the sounds of other aircraft. Anyway, I would like the takeoff performance page, but before we actually get going, let's just do the lineup checks.
Lineup procedure.
Configures the backs.
Delta 1165 taking off runway 9 left, departure to the south.
Captain, happy to report that the aircraft is now set to your specifications.
Right, okay, perfect. Next, some climb checks, basically turns the packs back on. Sounds are really good on that sim. I mean, that's as loud as you probably would hear it in the cockpit as well. Anyway, let's go off the brakes. Atlanta traffic, Delta 1010 lining up, runway 9 left, departure to the south. Alright, let's line up.
Traffic, couple of 284, 5 mile final, runway 08 left.
So that's done. That's done. MCP, we'll leave the flight directors off for takeoff. Transponder TRA. Weather radar. It works, the buttons you can push. Whether it's modelled, I'm not sure. But weather turbulence, +5 tilt. Gain to calibrate, and that will do for us. Oh, we've got the localizer lining up. That's strange. Do I have that set to the ILS by complete sheer luck? Looks like it. Set to your specifications. Ryan, 50 minutes later, I still didn't miss leaving the ground. It's a busy aircraft to set up, but when I first tried this aircraft out a couple of days ago, yeah, it took me a lot longer than that to get this thing up and running. Right, we'll give it another minute just for some spacing. Oh no, I know what. I've completely forgot to set this. So we'll do that whilst we're waiting. EPR, you can just copy from this. EPR takeoff 0.637. I did put the GMT time in, didn't I? I'll just do it again. 19:23. 23. Must time out. Insert. Why is it not letting me change the EPR? Flight setup, takeoff. Oh, my test sector, let me change this. Gross weight, maybe I have to put that in manually. I hope anyone, 115.8, it will round up to 160. I think you need to put the other information in, that's why. Fuel, we've got 21.9, we'll call it. I think I can put that in, 219, insert, and static air temperature, what's the temperature here at Atlanta? Then I'll take off, guys, I promise. 27, I didn't realise how hot it was. Enter. 0.636, I've done a thing. 0.637, perfect. Right, Toga's in chat. It calculates EPR, I've got it now. That's on. Timing, you press this button in. Take off 2024. Better say we're taking off. Delta 1010 taking off 9 left. Alright. Toga's in chat. Stabilised, and it's manual thrust, so 0.638. Light forward pressure. Ooh, nice sounds. It's very hard to fine tune the thrust, but I'm quite happy with that. That's close to 638. Airspeed's off, 80 knots, release forward pressure. The acceleration is bonkers. A little bit less thrust on engine number 3. Centre line, centre line. Oh, it's very wallowy.
V1.
I think that's V1 rotate at the same time.
First the
Centre line.
first departure.
Airborne. Positive climb.
Gear up. Rate of climb.
Gears coming up. God, the flight directors are... Oh, no, really setting a low altitude. So I just want to climb up to 1,000 feet above the ground. God, it's still accelerating. That's bonkers. 6,500 feet per minute. Right, climb thrust 486.
Atlanta traffic southwest 284, crossing runway 08 right.
Alright, let's just accelerate.
And we'll be taking tackle to the ramp.
Oh, what a thrust setting. I've done this before. 0.486 on all 3 engines. Right, waiting for the first snatch of flops of the white marker on the airspeed indicator. Not using the... I'm ignoring the flight director in pitch. We'll wait till 4,000 feet to start the turn. There we are.
Flaps 10.
Flaps 10. There's a massive speed difference between flap 10 and flap 4. Trimming, just claim 10 about 1,000 feet per minute. Look at that, oh, bit running a little high on engine number 3, just turn that down to 0.486. Again, lower that nose a little bit more. There's 4,000 feet, so what, I'm just going to go head down here for a second, guys. So waypoint, track change, 0, 1, insert. INS. INS. Oops, didn't press the... Oh no, hold on. There we are. So, that's now slave to the INS. Oh gosh, just watch mine now. I'm meant to be retracting the flap 6. Lower the nose slightly. Coming to the flap 4 speed.
4.
And the next bugger can select flaps up. I will accelerate to 250 knots. So the HSI now is giving me the direction to the first waypoint, Hep C. Don't descend. It's lost on lift there from the flaps off.
5324 joining a 15-mile final runway.
So again, the flight directors, they're not providing me with any guidance that I need, so I'm just ignoring them. Oh, I'll try not to descend again. Accelerate to 250 knots now. It flies like a wide-body jet, that's for sure. Beautiful.
And traffic number 5511 is joining us.
Okay, so I'm going to start pitching up now to fly 250. There's 240 knots. I think this one, this AIA mode, this is where I get a little confused with what it's exactly providing on the auto throttle. I mean, I'm not using the auto throttle. Right, there's 250. She's pretty much in trim now, so what I'm going to do is engage the autopilot and go straight to VS. VS, bug 250 knots. Select auto throttle. So now the auto throttle's maintaining 250 knots, and I'm using vertical speed for the cleared altitude of 10,000 feet. So I'll just wind that up to 3,000 feet per minute because we've got 3 to go. And now, whilst that's going on, gosh, those engines spooling up. We'll do the after takeoff checklist. Well, I can get Jim to do the after takeoff checklist. There we are.
rotor engine start checks. Roger. Doing
So you get a
those
massive
now.
speed drop there. So I bumped 250 straight away. It's accelerating back to 250 knots now. Anyway, coming to 2 to go.
Flaps
Hey,
22.
Captain, got that flow done.
Flaps 22. What did I press? Did I press the wrong? I pressed the wrong
Flaps
button.
18,
Did
flaps
I?
0.
I pressed the wrong button.
Traffic, Endeavour 50. Sorry,
Climb
do
checklist.
check, Endeavour
On to the
5324,
climb
come up
check.
on our way
Stand by, Captain. Did my job.
That was
Got
completely
that
my
flow
fault.
all set for you.
I better do that one as
Line up
well.
procedures.
Oh, then
Doing
this
that
one.
now.
That was a bit of a whoopsie.
Captain, that last flow is done.
then-
Aircraft is set.
That one,
On
please.
to the climb checks. Stand by, Captain. Hey, mate, just got that flow done. She's all set.
That could have been dangerous. But anyway, we've captured the altitude. It's reducing the rate of climb. Okay. I've noticed with the autopilot, it's sort of okay at maintaining altitude. It'll do okay, but in turns it sometimes gets a little inclement. Static air temperature. Well, total air temperature's over 15, so pretty sure we're not in icy conditions. Right, let's just quickly check everything here before we climb further. So air conditioning and pressurization. A diff pressure of 9.1 psi. Hey? Is that right? Cabin altitude 0 at maximum pressurization of 9.1 psi. I'd probably be descending, or concerned that the pressure relief valve is about to go off. Right, anyway, air conditioning pressurization set but looking dodgy, and after takeoff checklist, gear off, neutral, and don't forget to select RTO to take off. After takeoff, there we are, checks complete. Right, look, there's no ATC, so we can go up to 370. VNAV, and because I've now set it all up on this page, if I go here to the climb page, optimum, there we are, so it's 250, 320, Mach 0.82, EPRs are set, and look, it's calculating distance and time to top of climb now, which is quite cool. Obviously, as we accelerate and come out the, oh, look at that, as we come out the cloud, it look really nice. So, word of warning, don't select after start checklist in flight. INS alert, because we're coming up to the first waypoint Hespe. It'll hopefully cycle 1 to 2.
Traffic American 341, taking off runway 9 left southbound departure, Atlanta.
We can set standard. Passing 102 for 370 pre-cruise checks. So fuel is all configured automatically. We only have tank. So we only got 4 fuel tanks. It's not a centre tank with this. Yeah, look at the amount of fuel they can hold in the 2 wing tanks. That's huge. So that's all fine. Lights off. Just verify the APU's off. Which it is. Just check that pressurization system again. Is this broken? Cabin, I mean, it's good for us. Cabin altitude sea level. So it's definitely pressurizing. And look, you can see the outflow valves are doing things. Is that set to manual? Nope, no, it definitely is now. I mean, if I select manual and... Oh yeah, look, you can control the outflow. I mean, it's broken. Look. If I set to manual and open the outflow valve, the cabin pressure is dropping rapidly. Bad. But the cabin rate of climb is not changing. So that should be right now. Climbing massively. So it is modelled in a way. Because if you open the outflow valve, you depressurize the airplane. If I select auto, overpressure, pressure relief valve would be going off. Your ears would be exploding. But the cabin rate of climb isn't modelled. Yeah. Okay. It's a great add-on, and it's got some really nice touches. Don't forget to select INS as well. It's got some really nice touches, but I think they've missed a few things testing. I don't know. Let's just keep it up. I mean, this is good in a way. But it's fixed. Look, I've been at 9.1 psi for, which is funny enough the same maximum pressure for
American 341, 3,200 climbing, leaving the airspace.
But the cabin altitude is still sea level. It should be changing.
Atlanta.
It works fine on my end when taking off the cabin pressure indicator. Oh, really? Oh, no, we'll keep an eye on it. Anyway, look, we're back on our INS routes. All updating. Distance, time. Top of climb 301 miles away. I guess that's based off your present rate of climb, so that's interesting. Have I... Just correct me if I'm wrong. Ah, no, I know what... I need to select TM. There we are, so that's going to set EPR now. So this is like quirks with the automation. This is unique to this aeroplane. So make sure you select TM. TM is like your sort of target N1, or EPR in this case. So it'll set that. Now VNAV is pitching for 320 knots. So you'll see now when we start pitching up, the top of climb will massively reduce the distance and time. It'll start pitching up now at 320 knots.
Traffic, number 55, right crossing,
Oh, I'll just turn the sim down slightly. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of work that's gone into this, guys. I'm not sort of... the system, there's a lot to model here and get right. So there's going to be a few quirks and bugs, but it seems that there's a few things missing. We'll just carry on for now. The fuel used is going down. Look, we've already used 1,500 kilos, just over. There we are. It's going to start pitching up to 320 knots, and you'll see that this top of climb engage time will start reducing quite quickly. So here's 320 knots. What's your ETA into Mike Yankee November? Well, I'm only going to base it off the flight time. We've been airborne now for absolutely no clue when. 10 minutes ago, so an hour and a half from now. I'd say we're going to be close to Zulu 2100 Zulu. Maybe slightly after. There you go, no, now top of climb 116 miles, 1952 Zulu. So we've pitched up to maintain 320 knots. That's a proper climb speed, that is. Let's check that pressurization. Yeah, it's... cabin altitude stuck at 0, cabin's not climbing. I've got, excuse me, pressurization's in auto. We've checked it manually, and yes, the diff pressure opening the outflow valve would drop the diff pressure, but your cabin rate of climb needle is broken. So you've got pack temperatures, pack flow, INS cooling in op. As long as everyone's alive, we're burning fuel from each tank. VATSIM radar says 2112 Zulu. That's quite cool. How does that work? Does it just work out off your flight time and when you got airborne? 2 tons, you're not working anymore. Come join us. Awesome. Kodamar Trip says there's an hour-long L-1011 in-flight cockpit video from the 90s on the Just Planes channel. Every the cockpit seems to be busy pretty much all the time. It is a busy aircraft, you know. This aircraft came out in the 70s. I mean, it was only a few years after the 747 first flew. But when it came out, it is way ahead of its time. But now, how old is it now? 56 years old? 56 years ago it first flew. I mean, the people that designed this aircraft and built it are going to be in their 80s now. 70s, 80s. 2 tons with my current employer till May the 1st. No, they won't mind you taking a day off. Itchy and scratch him. Cheers, buddy. 75 months as a member. Hope you're doing very well. Thanks for popping in today. I've had the most strange month ever. I got the most weirdest virus from my dog, Brucella. That's an incredible dog name. And now a 3-month course of antibiotics. My goodness. So, Brucella, your dog, carried a virus, and now you've got it. My goodness. Well, best of luck with your recovery. 3 months of antibiotics. That's a pesky infection, but I hope you get better, buddy. I don't know why the alert thing didn't ping up, but cheers. Thanks for popping in. Brucella is the virus. Oh, is it? I think, itch and scratch, a bit more context, please. I've read that as your dog is called Brucella, but everyone's saying that's a virus. Oh dear. Well, I hope either your dog and you and this virus go the virus goes and you both get better soon. I think that's what I'm trying to work out, buddy. But thank you very much, and a very long time as a member on this channel. Thanks for the support. HC Kilby76, new subscriber evening. Thank you very much for popping in, buddy. Welcome aboard the L-1011 TriStar. Looking very good. Yeah, antibiotics certainly doesn't help a virus. You're quite right. Yeah, only a bacterial infection. I don't even think of that. Edo, that's most generous of you. Oh, Edo, long-term member and moderator on this channel. That's most kind of you, buddy. Thank you. No need. Welcome, Sim Captain 6139, Aviator, Outlaw, Irish Pilot, Ryanovsky, and Photon Bread. You've all been gifted members from my moderator Edo. That's very kind of him. You will get invited to our members-only Discord. Enjoy the customization chat. Thank you very much. Mike Delta, we're going to see the L-1011 in alpaca livery. Good question. I think someone was already mentioning it in the Discord server. I would fly it. I will fly this aircraft again, I think, reasonably soon, because it's the sort of airplane it takes... Well, it took me 2 days of prep, really, to get this, you know, to a point where I can fly this without too much faffing. And I think I wasn't too much faffing, was there? There's only a couple of little errors here and there, but we're airborne. We haven't had any stalls. We haven't had any low-speed situations. It's all good. Nizam, how does the company cope with fuel jet A1 shortage? That's a fantastic question, and there's been a lot of talk about this, I mean, amongst the aviation industry. I think I read a news article, something about there's sufficient jet A1 in the UK for a number of months. I mean, airlines do hedge for fuel, but that doesn't really make any difference if you can't actually...
Cabin is secure.
Well, I was hoping you would say unsecure so they could use the toilets, but fair enough. You know, fuel's hedge, that makes no difference if you can't actually get fuel from the Strait of Hormuz. So, yeah, I don't know. I've not heard anything from that point of view from any airline, so... Two days of prep is pretty good. Yeah, I could have streamed it last night, but I did 2 test sectors. I was actually going to do, guys, Orlando to Atlanta, because that was the last ever scheduled service for the L-1011 with Delta, before the aircraft was flown to Victoria and scrapped. But I thought Atlanta, a bit busy, and then they don't have any conventional arrivals, so I thought, nah, let's go to a cool destination. And Nassau we have actually been to before, in the Starship, the Black Square Starship. From, funny enough, Orlando, I think that flight was. But yeah, it's a really cool sector. Nice views, and this is what we're going to have a crack at later. We're going to come in via the north. Correct, if I select an overlay. 90-degree turn onto a DME arc, guys, at 2,000 feet onto the ILS, which is pretty epic. I'll probably, yeah, it's onto a 14-mile final via Mooney, so I'll probably maintain 3,000–4,000 feet on the arc. So yeah, we'll have to see how we get on. Yeah, I'm enjoying the aircraft, guys. It's got its quirks, but it's all good. See the EPR as we climb increases the target EPR. Currently inbound to waypoint number 2. That's Yanti. Look at this level of preparation I go into. Look what I've printed, guys. Look at this. There you go. All the INS waypoints on a 3D map. It's a shame we didn't fly yesterday. We'd have seen Artemis 2 take off. Going right over Nassau, aren't we? Lots of DME arcs, I know. I love DME arcs. That should be on normal, by the way. Perfect. Yeah. The DME arc we did in the Feeler 742 the other day has inspired me to do more. It's good fun. Anyway, looks like the order throttle is now... still got an EPR, but this VNAV mode is very rudimentary. It's pitching now to maintain a Mach number 0.82, which I think is our cruise speed. So it's just lowered the nose slightly, just to allow it to accelerate to 0.82. Yeah, it's fast and low altitude as well. Awesome. That's all complete. Geo Spencer 88. What are you doing here? Glad your printer's still working. I don't know the reference to that. Geo Spencer, ladies and gentlemen, is my stepbrother, who is a flight sim enthusiast. I think he was inspired by all my work. Oh yeah, no flight directors for autopilot. I'm old school. You're quite right. I should have turned those on. Just shows you that the AFDS system is independent. But you're quite right. The flight directors should be on, really. Yes, the speed brake, the button on the speed brake. I didn't find any reference in the manual to it. But I certainly know if you don't push this, the speed brake will not extend after takeoff. So I think it's quite crucial to push it. Although if anyone in chat would know the answer to that, I would greatly appreciate your input. What are the cup holders like? I mean, yeah, they did think about it back in the 60s when they designed this aeroplane, but yeah, cup holders are there. It's a good old cockpit size. You've got this jump seat. That's a really cool jump seat there. You know, you can stretch your legs out, look. That's a cool jump seat. Engineered, then there's a jump seat here as well. The wooden paddling. Plenty of cup holders, old school oxygen tank which is just slotted in. The wood veneer. Jim and I are still wearing our clothes. We'll have a look at the cabin later. It's so 60s, 70s. There's a nice cockpit. They've done a good job modelling this. Speed brake after takeoff. What do you mean by that, jump run? Hi Harry, hope you're doing well, Harry Hibbert. Hope your line training's going well. You might even pass your line check by now. Or have you passed your line check since we last spoke? Adam Capek, a colleague of mine, is here as well. Nice meeting you not that long ago, and doing very well. You don't need to call me sir at all, just Sam. That's why I say when anyone ever calls me sir. Oh, interesting room, so I'm not sure, but I believe my ground spotter retracted after pressing it. Yeah, I think after landing, you've got to push the button to retract the speed brake. I think you might be right. Did you ever fly on an L-1011? We briefly touched upon this at the start of the stream. Yes, so as a young boy, I have a distinctive memory of flying British Airways or British Air Tours, or whoever flew. Well, no, I don't think it was Caledonian. I think it would have been British Airways. We flew to Atlanta, and it was a TriStar. I was really young, 5, 6 years old, and we flew on an AMD 11 on the way back. But it's a very hazy memory. I was really young. Oh, you said without the button speed. Oh, sorry, after landing. Sorry, my apologies. If I said takeoff, I completely meant. If you don't click the button, the speed brake will not deploy after landing. Sorry, after landing. My apologies. Hello, Henry. Good evening to you. Why is the speed creeping up? What are you looking at? The Mach number, yeah, it looks like we're now flying 0.82. It's slightly above it. Let's check the pressurization panel. Oh, look! Ah, the cabin altitude is now increasing. Yay. Diff pressure, it just stays at 9.1 psi. I mean, I wouldn't want the pressure on that sort of limit the whole time. It's like the needle's burnt on here. Anyway, yeah, it looks like the pressurization schedule. Oh no, the pressure's actually dropping slightly now. Okay, so it's doing its thing. The outflow valve is sort of. I don't think it'd be as far open as that at this altitude. Otherwise, the leak rate would be too high. Anyway, look, we've got pressure. Oh, it's so busy. It's a really busy engineering panel. Get quite good performance on this aircraft. God, look at the power of this airplane. It's got an ability to maintain 2,000 feet per minute with one to go at 36,000 feet. Coming up to waypoint number 2 on the INS. Waypoint 2 being Yanti. Show the charts here. Let's have a look. There you go. There we are. So flight level 370 cap. The auto throttle is commanding EPR 710. I just want to see, does this change to auto throttle to maintain speed, or do you have to manually select auto throttle? I thought this actually went automatically on my test sector. The cruise Mach number is 0.83, and I'm doing 0.84. I'm just going to select auto throttle, 250 knots. No. So how do I change this to Mach? It should do it automatically. Yeah, it didn't seem to do it my side. And now I've bugged 280 knots indicated. It's spawning up now. Let me just select TM again. So 710 EPR, even though I'm at 370, which is my cruise. Do I have to select VNAV? No, just TM sets Mac. Mine's showing EPR at 370. And if I select auto throttle, I can only bug an indicated airspeed. So look, we're coming up to our target thrust of 0.83. We're going to go blasting through it. How do I update that to cruise? Because we're going to exceed MMO in a second. 0.85. Is this a bug, or is there something I've completely screwed up? Because I swear on my test sectors it automatically changed as well in TM. At least it did yesterday. When I did, I set the MAC and not EPR. Maybe check the PMS. Let's have a look here. Oh, it seems to have hit a wall. That's really strange. Look, I've still got the same thrust setting, and it's just stopped accelerating at 0.855. How strange. Thank you, Red Kid, for your £5, buddy. That's very kind.
Love your streams.
Thank you so much. Very kind. Thank you very much. Cheers, buddy. Is that a bug? I've just hit 710. It's just hit a wall. Let me just... Right, I'm just going to... Oh, gosh, 280. So, look, I'm just going to do that again. So I'm just going to slow down to 258 indicator. I can still fly an indicated airspeed, it's fine. But it's just the way it just stopped accelerating. It's like it hit a brick wall. So let me just select TM again. Thrust management, EPR 710. So it's going to spool up 710. Now this definitely didn't happen on the test sector. I've probably forgot something in the PMS, but this is quite funny. So look at this. I've got the thrust 0.736. Or 710, look, it's just fine tuning. Look at this. 848, 849... 8.5. The thrust is still the same. 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4. A wall. But the thrust is fixed. Now that is fishy. That shouldn't happen. It should be accelerating. Parasitic drag increases. Not proportionally, sort of at the same rate as you accelerate, but. The thrust doesn't change, but why is it stopped at 8.5? Why are we not accelerating and accelerating? No, back buffet. Back buffet's when the airflow at the top of your wing goes supersonic and your stall angle decreases. Yeah, why have I hit a wall there? I don't know. Look, right, temporarily, what we're going to do is... What indicated airspeed is Mach 0.83 up here? It's probably going to be about 250, 260, 270. This bug going to tell it to do 270 knots. And that's going to be around Mach 0.83. Gauge is only rated for Mach 0.855, actually at Mach 1.3. It's strange how it just stopped. Even though the thrust was fixed at 0.710, Mach 8.3, Mach 8.4, Mach 8.5, accelerating quite quickly. And then all of a sudden, bam, we hit this... wall. We should be 8.6, 8.7, 8.8 MMO. Alright, now what's it doing? I've told the autothrottle to fly 270 knots. There, they're spawning up now. Okay. Right, I should think it is doing this because I forgot something on the page. It'll be something I've done, guys, but I'm a bit curious as to why the aircraft stopped accelerating. So, 300 cruise, so 0.83, 285, fuel remaining. Optimum 370, top of descent. I need to put my bod level in here. So 0.83 is 285 knots. I think I've got 270 knots indicated is fine. The out is set to 430, that's why. Ah, thank you. So now at least it will update. Oh gosh. There we go. 0.83. Well spotted. So that's why it didn't work. Fair enough. That's user error. It still doesn't accelerate while we hit a brick wall at 0.855. But we've got here Ruben Schwartz, L-1011. You are now, Ruben, our residential L-1011 expert. But yeah, fair enough. Forgot to update the PMS. We've now got it in. TM is sort of like the VNAV cruise mode, which is maintaining 0.83. But I don't understand why we hit this wall at 0.855. Anyway, catch up on chat here. We've got a few comments coming in.
50,
Firstly,
40,
thank you very
30,
much, Mr. Anderson
20,
himself
10.
from the Matrix. Thank you.
Love to see the L-1011 out and about.
Cheers.
I certainly need more instruction on the performance management, auto land and autopilot systems. Many thanks.
Thank you very much for your kind donation there, $5. It's certainly a learning curve for myself as well. As you can see here, yeah, I forgot to update the actual altitude, so it wouldn't engage the cruise speed mode where the autothrottle would switch from climb EPR 0.710 to maintain a Mach number of 0.83. So make sure, I guess you could do this pre-flight. I guess I did it on my test sectors. I completely forgot to do it here. Update your cruise altitude. On the takeoff page, albeit late, I remember to put in the time, the gross weight, fuel and static air temperature, and that calculates your EPR for takeoff and your climb, but don't forget to update the cruise level. But most kind, thank you very much, Mr. Anderson. We're learning together with the help of many users in chat. Anyway, I was scrolling up chat because I think I missed a few people whilst we were diagnosing the issues. Good evening, Cap. Happy Easter to you and your family. Thank you very much, Sergio. Thank you very much for popping in. Yes, of course. Happy Easter to everyone here in chat today. Igbeinstraud 2296. I've watched you for years. Thank you. Can fly the 737 well now. I worked 6 months as a flight attendant at your operator. Now I'm a new one. Next year I'll start my APL. Really appreciate it. Oh, fantastic. Well done getting in the industry nice and early, and you'll be gaining a lot of useful experience working in the back there. I fly with a lot of guys who cabin crew previously, and they're really bring an extra element to the operation because they know exactly how you deal with things in the back there. So good luck with your journey. You'll be absolutely fine. Work hard, and you'll be sat the right seat in no time. Matt, just overtook you overhead. We are cruising fast here. How are we here? Coming up to Sharks. Let's now have a look on some traffic. Still on, there we are. Oh yes, I think we'll have a look outside as you're just behind us. Watch your ears, guys. Oh, it's not too bad. Where are you? Oh, hold on. There you are. Perfect. What's your Mach number? Ruben, it's fiddly thing, but if you said it correctly, climb and cruise are quite straightforward. Oh, absolutely, yes. You just got to make sure you input that data. And I've got a notepad for this aircraft. Everyone knows my infamous notepad for all the different aircraft I fly. I will add that to my notes. So when I next fly it, I'll put before takeoff, set PMS, climb and cruise page. In fact, let me get to my L-1011 page. I've not actually started one yet. That's me ripping paper out my notepad. My aircraft notepad. I'm going to write this down before I forget. L-1011. TriStar. Notes. PMS. Set. Climb. And cruise page before takeoff. And that won't happen again. But, you know, it's a steep learning curve. And I only installed this aircraft a couple of days ago. It's come a long way, and we're always going to make little errors on days like this. It's all about learning. That's what this airplane is, certainly a steep learning curve. Ryanovsky sadly must go do something. I'll enjoy far less. Oh, have a good flight. Well, hopefully it won't drag on too long. Cheers for popping in, Ryanovsky. Welcome back as a member. Listening, those awesome large wing routes have been there a long. Has there been a longer variant of this plane? I think, was this the largest, the 500? There were some smaller versions, wasn't there? Henry, I hope they plan to fix that fictional reg in the cockpit. Yes, it would seem whatever registration you select, your registration and cell call are fixed. They're not actually interchangeable as per the aircraft you're flying. Carl, good day to you. Flew on the L-1011 in real life a few times, very comfortable. The cabins were well appointed. We'll have a little look around the back here. So we sat in the cruise, approaching Sharks, and we should see the east coast of the United States of America. There it is. Perfect. Not looked much outside the window today because we've been very busy up front. Can't pop my head out. And there we are, overhead Sharks. INS routing very nicely from 3 to 4 now. Routing towards Demerel. Still no ATC, unfortunately. Let's have a look around the cabin anyway. It's very well detailed. INS have lost their famous door bang on all their add-ons. Previously, it used to be a massive slam when the door closed. I missed that. Anyway, here we are into this very spacious galley. Champers on ice. We've got some Bud and Coke and Old Homestead American wine. Quite the buffet, and taffy tape chipsters. It's very period snacks, I think. Wouldn't even know what Nabisco is. Right, but yeah, look at the size of this galley. Absolutely humongous. Sorry, cabin. Wide body jet. We've got a 2-3-2 and then a 2-4-2 seating arrangement back here. Obviously there's the projector to show the film. Classic fabric seats of the era. Very nice. Very colourful. Blue seats back here. So this is an all economy configuration. Yeah, there's certainly decent spacing between the seats. Well, a little bit more crammed in back here. What's shown on this flight? Well, airplane, of course. Sounds are very nice. They've done a good job of this. I like how they change as you move around there. Oh my gosh, I'm outside the airplane. Ah! There we are. I love the little scratches. Yeah, that's really cool. Although the scratches should be on the inside. Or is that more sort of sun damage? Yeah, it's really nice. And I mean, my PC, I've got a lot of spare VRAM on this, so it's running particularly well. The toilets are crazy. 5 toilets like this at the back. Unfortunately, oh, it is modelled. The door doesn't open. But the question is, does it flush? I doubt it. No flushing toilet. Disappointing. But nice cabin. Red seats are business. Let's have a look, get closer here. I mean, what do you get from them that you don't back there? I mean, do you get a little bit more leg room? Not really. I mean, yes, I think they are slightly wider, aren't they? Yes, they are. So you've got one less seat abreast, but yeah, I think you're right. I think this is business. Apparently they were really loud toilets because they were directly under engine number 2. Oh yeah, I can imagine they were. Anyway, back into the business end. We'll shut the door for security reasons. Not that that door was ever locked back in the day. Any alpaca cartoons available? Unfortunately not. Harry says, line training almost finished now. You've got your line check end of next month. Only 6 training sectors left. I always appreciate you asking. Thank you. Hope you and the family are well. Thank you very much for asking. If my family well, fine. Thank you very much. My daughter's first birthday is next week. How quick members of the channel know this has it been since my daughter's a big 1-year-old? Arrangements are already underway for her birthday. She's fast asleep about 5 meters away from me. So thanks for asking, Harry. All good. But yes, fatherhood is still treating me well. A few restless nights here and there, but just going the night. It has done the last week, which is great. I can't remember what I was going to say now. Loud toilets, yes, that's what I was asking. But yeah, Harry, yes, it's great that your line training is going well. It's been quite windy. The weather's been a bit sort of all over the place last month. I've not flown much this year. Been really busy in the sim. Really busy, and that's set to continue for the next few months because we've got a lot of recruitment going on. It's great. It's nice to be busy, but I've not had any standbys for a while. I had one standby last week, it was called. But it's the way we like it. Said you're looking for the second one. What's that? Second toilet or second child? Possibly. Dan, on some variations there is a lower galley downstairs. Yes, I did see I could select in the menu an option with a cabin fitted, which I've not looked at. But quite cool that they had that fitted. Oh, a lounge, wasn't there? Gary, thank you. 23 months, almost 2 years as a member. Can't believe your daughter's almost a year old. I know. Where's the time gone? Well, this time last year, it was quite a stressful experience. His wife had to have a C-section in the end, but without going into too much detail, yes, it was a stressful week. Adam says, don't talk about the wind the past week. Yeah, it's been really windy everywhere. Quite glad to have been at the sim, if I'm honest. Listen, have you ever mentally mixed up sim and reality in the flight? Thankfully not. Cheers, buddy. 72 months of members. I saw you posting in Discord. 6 years. Thank you very much for your entire support. You joined right in the middle of COVID-19, and here you are still today. Thank you for showcasing the L-1011. Any 757 streams on the horizon? You know I love anything with RB211. Would you guys like me to fly the Flight Factor 757 again? It's a good little add-on. It's got its own quirks, and they've had some updates in the last few months. Will we ever see it on the same level as their incredible 777? Who knows? But yeah, I think the 75 would come up again soon. Emery, happy first birthday to her in advance. Thank you very much, buddy. Commander says, still enjoying X-Plane? Yeah, I've not tried it since the latest beta went public. Is it 12.4.1 or 2? But yeah, since last stream I used was is it the group flight or you think the Fearless 742, I think. But yeah, I think the Flight Factor 757 is always a popular aircraft to stream. So I think I could get that out. Did anyone see my go-around tutorial as well? I hope you enjoyed that, if anyone has seen it. I did a new video primarily to play around with some video editing software. I use Premiere Elements, which is not as powerful as Photoshop or whatever the video editing software the suite they use is, but it's more powerful enough. And I updated the license to get the 2026 version. There was loads more you can do. It's a bit time consuming, but you can add a lot of these templates and things, so I quite enjoyed making that. So, you know, covered a tutorial which a lot of people asked me to do, the single engine go around. Took me about 15 minutes to record and about 4 hours to edit. But I quite enjoyed doing it. Have you used the alpaca call sign in real life? Maybe. No, I've always had to stop myself. I've been close. Premiere Pro, that's it, Aaron. Yeah, I haven't got that. Don't need it. Guys, I'm just going to open the window in my office. It's 27 degrees. My PC is like a thermal nuclear device. Gosh, what it's going to be like in the summer, I don't know. Just move my headset here because it's all tangled up in my monitor. Oh, there we are. Oh, nice cool fresh air coming in now. Oh, I can feel it already. Perfect. And you think 1 year's gone quick, Sam? My son is almost 26 and is a teacher. No idea where the time went. Oh, crikey. Yeah, that's what everyone keeps saying. My goodness. Hello, Jordan. Hope you're doing well. Good morning to you. Anyway, whereabouts is Cape Canaveral? Excuse my lack of knowledge of it. I've even done a stream there. Is it close to Orlando, isn't it? There it is. I did a thing. Perfect. And we flew into... Didn't we fly into this airport? Yeah, we flew here, the iniBuilds Beluga a long time ago, didn't we? We flew here into Titusville Space Centre, carrying space parts. But we'll have a little look out the window. I think there's some elements modelled there. So Cape Canaveral, where's all that? Well, I need really the... it's here, isn't it? Look. You can see all the launch sites. Satellite imagery. There we are. look, these are all the rocket launch sites. Where's was it from the famous pad that they took off yesterday? We should see it on our route. Look, right over the top. Anyway, we're currently inbound to Debrel. Debrel's the next INS waypoint. 1.4 minutes, 11 miles to go. There is actually DME here at Tango Romeo Victor. It's a DME only station. I mean, we can tune it to get some distance, but 17.3. Very quiet on VATSIM. What day is it? Thursday? Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, so the DME's counting down. One thing I noticed on this, the miles, it updates quite slowly. So look, 7.1, it will now be 6.7. Is that true to the real aircraft? Because obviously the Fearless 742 has a really similar HSI, but it updates quite quickly. So the miles, you can see each nautical mile increment. So here it just seems to be really slow updating. It's an update every what? 1, 2, 3. It's about every 3 seconds it takes to update the miles on there. So I don't know if that's quite right, or it could be, you know, it could be quite right. It's just the way it is. It's just slow. Harry, what headset do you use? I think to get the Pro Flights, but I'm open to recommendations. I've just recently bought the A30s after a long time, which reminds me, I need to contact the company who are repairing my A20s. Do not use Adams Aviation. Yeah, I think they're the only certified Bose repair centre in the UK. I sent them 3 months ago, and the communication is terrible. I sent it, they never confirmed they received it. I emailed them after a week. Oh yes, we have received it. We'll start the work when we can. A month later, emailed them, how's the progress? Oh, we've not started working on it yet. We're really busy, sorry. I was like, okay. And I've waited another month, emailed them again. We have started work, but we'll let you know when it's done. And it's now another month since then, so I've had it for 2.5 months. But I think they're the only certified repairer in the UK now. So yeah, I don't know. But going back on it, the A30s are really nice. Great investment. My A20s I'm keeping as a spare, and they lasted me how many years? 13 years. And how many hours have I now got the 737? 8,000? I don't even know how many hours I've got. So I did about 6,000 hours on them. Refurbished them twice. For me, who only does 300 hours a year now, they should last me 15, 20 years at least. But yeah, the Pro Flights, I've heard mixed reports about them. Some people like them. I've flown people that like them. I've had people that tried them that absolutely hated them. I like the A20s. The A30s are a lot lighter on the head as well. And I wear glasses. They're much more comfortable with glasses on too. The A20s get a little bit more of a clamping force. Cheers, Ruben. Your next frequency is 132.2. We've got some ATC on mine. We'll do a fuel check as well soon. Oh yes, we have got some ATC. Oh look, we've just passed Debrel, so or Debrel. I do like this. It's cool. So 42 minutes is a flight. Yeah, I don't know how this clock works. I can't work out. But we should have 14.2 tons of fuel. Fuel used. Hey. 2, 4, 6 tons. What did the flight plan say? 8. Actual burn. 8 point. I should have. That's way off. 14.2 on board. We've saved a ton. Tons. Should have 14.2 on board. Where's the totalizer? We've got 60. We've saved 2 tons of fuel in 45 minutes. Has there been reports of unrealistic fuel burn? Well, this is their profile, the SimBrief profile. I mean, I'll take it. Free virtual fuel. It's my epic flying, ultra efficient operation. It was that time we flew at 0.855. Right, anyway, what was this frequency we're expecting? A ding-dong soon, aren't we? 13132.2, was it? I'll pre-select that. Oh, what's happened here? Oh, I've gone some sort of weird night mode, but there we are. Oh, my OFP's disappeared. Reload. There we are. So you can, I should have mentioned this actually, you can cheat and use that button to send all the waypoints to INS, which prevents you from having to input them early. And I think that's fine, you know, if you've got a long route and fly this every day, because all you're doing is randomly putting in coordinates. Things blanked again, I'll just close it. So, yeah. You can send it directly in, and you can have GPS. There's an option for GPS. You can have this little TV thing here which shows you your INS waypoints. So you know, there's a few things that you can do to make your navigation a little easier. Anyway, we're checking in now. Inbound to the Tango Romeo V Treasure, the Treasure TME station.
2187, Miami runway 1 right, taxi via Juliet, Delta, cross runway 28 at Delta. Juliet, Delta.
Does the fuel gauge show pounds, not kilos? Good question, actually.
Allegiant 1894.
No, kg, look.
7431.
kg.
7431, Beacon 1894, drive on
Total fuel
Air
kg.
2 Papa Victor, expect visual approach runway
Unless it
9.
is pounds and they've just not changed the gauge around.
Looks like the visual runway 9 or 2 Papa Victor.
Miami Center, hello, it's Delta 1010 Heavy, flight level 370 inbound Tango Romeo Victor.
Delta 1010 Miami Center, cleared, directed Zulu Foxtrot Papa.
Director Zulu Foxtrot Papa VOR, Delta 1010. Perfect, so we can do this. So we just need to work out which waypoint it is. So it's this one here. On my notes, it's waypoint number 7. So we've got to use INS or conventional. So if we go down here, waypoint change, or track change they call it. 0, 7. So 0 is present position 7. Insert. There we are. We're making the turn direct to the VOR. So yeah, en route, still absolutely fine to use.
10A1 runway 36 cleared to land.
And then we can tune this up for backup later on in case we lose INS. So 13, 13.2.
1894, expect visual approach runway 14.
Expect visual 14, Allegiant 1894.
We are just in range, look, 163 miles away, and it's good. Do I dare get the ident? I remember, I think it was the Starship, I got the nav aid ident, and it crashed the whole plane. Where's nav? Oh, how do you listen to nav aids on this? Is it this one? Oh, like every aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Can you hear the Morse? It's really quiet, but you can't turn up the volume. Can you hear that?
Virgin 129 Romeo.
Yeah, so it's there, but you can't control the volume. But I heard that that's a bug in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So there we are, look, 19.7 minutes until we get to Zulu Foxtrot Papa, 20 minutes. We need to start thinking about descent actually. So let's work that out. I think you can use PMS to help you. Hayden, thanks for your membership, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Glad you enjoyed the content still, and you get invited if you're not already there. The members only Discord, but I think you are still there, buddy. Thank you very much. Mr. Anderson himself, you're enjoying the add-on. It's very, very cool. Thank you for your donation as well. Most kind. Right, we can use this information. It's very rudimentary, but you can put some descent information in here. What it requires is it linked to your INS? So I'm quite curious as to how this works. So basically, I'm going to fly this DME arc after Kure. So it's a right turn here, 14 miles. Actually, this guy might vector me if I'm nice, but I'll ask him to do a DME arc for training. And I want to aim to be 14 miles here. So this is 14 mile final, that's probably another 7, so 20 miles. I want to aim to be at 6,000 feet at Kure, so what I'm going to do is put 6,000 feet as a target altitude and speed of 220 knots. what information does it also need? So it needs something to start a descent point at. Is it a distance or something I have to input? I've told it what altitude and speed I want to do. I think it just needs to work out where you need to be.
American 5421, Monty Center, hello.
En route descent, 300 cruise. So that information's all in. Top of descent. What do I need to insert the top of descent information?
Runway 1.
Oh, thanks, Mike Moreno. Great hearing your voice again, Captain. I haven't heard you for a long time. Well, thank you so much for popping in. I'm still here, still alive, still well. Anyway, we'll do some mental math. So look, Kouré, if we go to the operational flight plan, we want to be at 7,000 feet at Kouré. Let's call it 6,000 feet. Kouré 6,000 feet. Let's have a look here. So we've got remaining distance. We can use this to help us work out our descent points. Remaining distance from touchdown Kouré is 21. I don't care actually the remaining distance from Kouré, but the 21 miles is important because at 21 miles I want to be at 7,000 feet. Now, we're at 37,000 feet. Sorry, we want to be at 6,000 feet, so we need to lose 31,000 feet. 31 times 3 is 93 miles. So if we just add 21 to 93, that's going to come to 114 miles. When the remaining distance is 114 miles, we can start our descent. So we've got here remaining distance, 114. Oh look, 109. I wasn't far off with that mental maths. So we can work it out. Look, 1 hour 9 is Zulu Foxtrot Papa, and then 3 minutes after that we need to start our descent. So we can just basically go right after Zulu Foxtrot Papa. 3 minutes later start our descent, or 133 miles we can start our descent and just be a little bit more shallow. So basically, yeah, a couple of minutes after Freeport start our descent, it'll be close enough. So that's a mental maths for calculation. And Freeport, well, we know 133 miles away, we're going to be there in 16 minutes, so we know top set's going to be at 19 minutes from now. So quick maths, exactly, Irish pilot. How would you do a direct to a waypoint you haven't yet programmed in the ice? I guess, Brian, you have to enter the coordinates onto a waypoint number and then update it that way. That'd be your only way. I've never tried it. Right, oh, Dennis Jackson, I think you're giving me some guidance for bod distance here. So, I mean, the options on flight setter page, I think it's the second page of the PFS. So that's takeoff. Flight setter. Aha! So, do we have to say what distance? Ah, interesting. So, what did we say the distance was? 114. Oh no, we want to actually do something different for that. Because top of descent is 30. We just want to do it to 7,000 feet, don't we? So 6,000 feet. So 37,000 feet minus 6,000 feet as a distance is going to be 31 miles. We just want to times that by 3. So 93, I guess. 93 goes in here. Let's have a look now.
Up to 833, descend and maintain.
Oh, I've got a time. That's now. Distance from what, though? I know.
Up to 833.
It's giving me a time, though, but that's just my present time. Look, I'm going to go old school and use speed mode to descend. Oh, look! BOD, 90 miles. At 2032. That's not far off what we said, is it? 32. Oh no, that's like in 10 minutes. Stupid computer. Yeah, it's distance from your present position to the position where you want to be at your bod altitude. Oh, from your present position. Look, we're not going to use it. I'll just treat it like a Fearless 747. Anyway, look, we put something in there. Let's start thinking about this approach then. So look, we've got under Miami control here, so we're already routing direct to the VOR. We can either request, it could be a direct to Mooney to fly the approach, or route direct to the VOR. But I'd say, look, can we route via Hanks and Kouré, because we want to fly the DME arc and go from there. But essentially we're going to fly on INS navigation. One thing I'm going to do now, because we're using 9 waypoints, the 9th waypoint is Kouré. I'm just going to put one more waypoint in, and because there's only 9 waypoints you can save, you've got to put in waypoint 1, and we're going to put, the reason I want to put that in is this distance here is only slave to INS, and after you pass your final waypoint you get some sporadic distance and time. It's really random, so I don't want it to show that. I want it to show me how many miles to the airport and how long it would get there if we flew as the Crow does. So if I go here to the OFP, didn't have this up, did I? Yeah, so this is the 9th waypoint. I'm just going to put in the airport as the final waypoint. Not that I'm going to use INS to fly direct to the airport, just to get... I just don't want any spurious mile or time information. So what we need to do here is go to INS, waypoint, select... don't use 0, whatever you can you? No, waypoint 1, there we are. 0 is present position. Waypoint 1, we can put in the airport code, which is North 25023, North 25023, insert, West 07728. That way, the INS information that we're going to get is going to be useful to us. You know. So that information's in. So yeah, I mean, setup-wise, there's not a huge amount I can do because when I get closer, we need to tune the VOR, which is the NASA VOR 112.7, routing direct to Kouré. When we're at a distance of 14 miles, well, that's the arc we need to intercept. Take 1% of your ground speed to start your turn. So if you're doing 200 knots ground speed, that's 2 miles before the arc. Start your turn. So it's 16 DME. Very easy to reference your ground speed because it's off the INS. So we just look at our ground speed approaching sort of 20 miles Kouré and go, right, this is our ground speed. We're not going to change our speed. We'll maintain 220 knots on the arc. And then 1% of ground speed, boom, start the turn. And if you turn 1% of your ground speed at the distance from the arc, it works really nicely to roll out onto the arc. And then we'll do the turn 10, twist 10 method. And we're not going to be on the arc long, look. It's 14 DME arc at 2,000 feet. It's going to probably take us 3 minutes, 4 minutes to transit this. And we're aiming to be, remember, at about 6,000 feet here. And then I'll just keep sending VS to 2,000 feet. 2,000 is quite low. 14 miles, 2,000 feet. We're going to be way below profile. So probably aim to be at about 3,000 feet at Mooney. And we'll just work it out from there. So that's that. Whilst we're flying the arc, approaching the 329 radial, we'll tune the ILS 10-1. Courses will already be set prior to the arc because we don't need the courses, so 143. Height check 6.9 DME. That's the final approach fix. We need to be at 1,700 feet. Minimums then, Cat 1 ILS, 232 feet. So I think on this, you can only select decision height. Oops, I pressed that button in. What have I done? Hopefully I've cancelled it. Anyway, I'll set 217 feet. This is based off the radio altimeter. Can't set a DA by the looks of it. So 217 is set. We need 1,200 meters visibility. And the missed approach is 143 to 2,000 feet left turn to the VOR to hold. It's very low stop altitude. So MSA, no issue, 1,500. I'll probably just self-position left hand downwind for another approach. So there we are. Briefing's pretty much complete. Let's look at the performance. That's Atlanta. We can actually get rid of a lot of these charts now.
Oh, did I get a handoff?
So I'm just going to select the pin here, so deselect that. Just tidies up my little banner down here. So landing on runway 14 here, let's have a little look at the weather. It's okay, 110.14, so slight crosswind from the left. Variable, 10k scattered clouds, 27 degrees, lovely afternoon. Altimeter 3013. Plan to vacate at Bravo. Delta's a bit ambitious. Bravo. Maybe a runway. I've got default scenery, guys. I did consider getting some payware scenery. There was one available, and it was on sale, but it's shockingly bad. But it's usable. We can line up on the runway. But yeah, we'll plan to vacate Bravo, if not Alpha. We do have a performance calculator included. There we are. So landing weight we need to calculate. We can basically, well, I just go off the operational flight plan, which is ultra conservative because we seem to be burning about 15% less fuel than the flight plan. So this has given me an estimated landing weight of 145.9. Well, it's at least 2 tons saved, so just call it 145 tons. 145. Enter. Landing elevation. What is it here? Sea level. Surely 0. Be fine. Dry runway. And to get on. Calculate. So all the speeds are there. V approach 143. Flight 138. Stopping in 1900 meters. I have no idea if that's factored or unfactored. But we've got 3,300 to play with. What order brake settings is that based off? I'll press the set which updates the bug cards. And what's quite cool is that you get the landing data card here. It would be nice to know what order brake that is. 1899. Order brake.
Delta 600.
Medium?
Miami Center,
Let's go with that.
Takeoff 230.
High will probably be a little bit strong. But there we are. Set up, ready to go. Great, looks like it's a good conversation here on the PMS or the INS, which is pretty cool. Oh gosh, we've missed Cape Canaveral. Oh, I was too busy setting up for the approach. Oh, sorry guys. There we are. I don't do enough external views on the streams. Do you guys prefer I stay in the cockpit briefing you guys? Well, I should do the occasional have a look outside, shouldn't I? There we are. Beautiful. Looks cool, doesn't it? Fly back. Oh, I've got the fuel saved. Awesome. It's lovely looking aircraft. I don't like how on this aeroplane though they didn't use enough paint on the engine nacelle. Less half isn't painted. Looks great though. Awesome. So as we said, 3 minutes past.
November 750 Papa, Miami Center, at 3,000 with you.
For 1550 Papa, Miami visual approach runway 10 right.
Perfect. The young man has his microphone very close to his mouth, but his little Cessna poodling around.
Visual approach runway 10 right, November 750 Papa.
He's enjoying himself then. But yeah, we seem to have saved a significant amount of fuel. We'll do one more fuel check before descent at the Freeport VOR. I think that might be for me. Descend, maintain flight level 240 Delta 1010. Oh, that's good. Screw up my descent planning, but never mind. So 240. We can recalculate it. So 240 set.
Definitely 2063. You're not following the arrival.
Vertical speeds.
Just to maintain 7,000.
And 1,000 feet per minute. And auto throttle. How do I convert this to Mach? I don't want to maintain Mach in descent, really.
Air Canada 1204, descend via Bonefish 3 arrival, except maintain.
Oh, it's reduced to 0.80. Maybe in TM, does it automatically change the descent profile? It's all very dark in here, isn't it? I think, can't really see the light changes here. Need to switch to 80, oh really? Ah, perfect.
American 158 creek change.
So I'll maintain about 270 knots in the descent. There we are. So look, we'll descend to 240.
Delta 139, my center.
Recalculate our top of descent point once we get there. But we're just going to do a very shallow descent at the moment.
Level 360, Delta 139.
American 2225, my center. Maintain level 330.
Continue flight level 330, American
What's the wind
2225.
actually doing? A little bit of a tailwind on this sector.
JetBlue 2063, clear direct, veined immediately.
258 at 35 knots. So a little bit of a crosswind, not very strong.
As instructed before, we are already directed to direct vane, JetBlue 2063.
JetBlue 2063, descend maintain.
Busy here in Miami Center. This one controller is covering a huge area.
833, maintain 2.
JMP, hope you're doing well. Watching BBC2 program on the Kegworth crash at the moment. It made me wonder if you would fly again if you're involved in a crash. Ooh. I mean, touch wood. Nothing like that will ever happen in my career.
2212, why are you descending without permission?
Oh dear.
American 2212, stop your descent.
This could be quite amusing.
American 2212, stop descending. American 2212, Miami Center.
I think
Delta 838, why are you descending? Come on, everyone. You gotta do better. You can't disregard your ATC instructions for no reason. Delta 838, climb maintain level 340.
Everyone's descending, everyone's climbing.
We'll climb maintain 12 with 340. The aircraft is struggling to get altitude, but we can take it from here. Delta 838.
Envoy 53.
Honestly, it has crossed my mind, you know, I think earlier on in my career, especially in pilot training, you know, what would happen if I was to crash, but aviation's built to be
American 341 advised
incredibly safe, and something I never think about here, and I know I'm trained and all my colleagues are trained to deal with some pretty unrealistic scenarios, but yeah, it really depends. But I wish to have a very boring aviation career. I'm 16 years into my aviation career. Not quite halfway. Not long until I'm halfway, but there we are. Yeah, it's always play the aircraft. Absolutely, yeah. Anyway, how's my bod descent doing?
76, my center, good afternoon.
This is the information you punch in.
Center, hello, Outback 875, maintaining.
Oh, there's 2 tons.
Outback 875, center, climb tape level 210.
Climb maintain 210, 875.
Delta 1414, cross Ray J at 13,000, Nassau, altimeter 3013.
Nassau, altimeter 3013.
So that's climb page. No, I don't want that information.
American 262, descend via coastal 3, arrival Miami.
340 knot descent, wow.
3013.
Yeah, this is just information, so it's all on that second page.
Calling at...
I'll just keep it on the landing data page.
Was calling or something like that.
How's the pressurization?
Roger, it was speed.
Yeah, it's actually descending, but yeah, the PSI, it's like the pressure is fixed off 9.1 PSI at all times.
Roger.
Have you ever heard ATR someone wanted descending, but in real life, no, yet to hear that one.
Squawk 0553.
I've heard a level burst. I've heard level burst on
050 Papa, turn right, heading
in real life, and I've also heard an interception. I've heard an aircraft get intercepted because they weren't monitoring the radio.
Okay, or fly off into infinity.
I think I need to listen out to this controller.
November 75 Papa, turning right, heading 100, will be advised.
Upjet 833, reduce speed to 180.
Matt, your PC went wild, uh-oh.
Upjet 833, cross.
Hey Jordan, don't get an ejection seat like us. No, I don't need one of those. I'll just do this shallow descent. We're doing right over 3 Portland on one of the islands in the Bahamas. There we are. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Smoggy. Cheers, buddy. 77 bumps as a member. Thank you very much. I've been waiting for this stream. Such a cool aircraft. Very cool. Very iconic. Anyway, next waypoint as we fire the VOR. Sinbad, cheers, buddy. 16 bumps. Wow, I know. Time's gone fast. That guy was very happy with the service.
341.
Cheers, Sinbad, Smoggy. Thank you very much for your support, guys. Right, we're going to do a fuel check here.
100 down to 6,000 for American 341.
American 2212. American 2225 for traffic and mid-altitude, maintain
I'm trying to listen to this guy here. OFP, that was it.
310 American.
Seems to keep being spat out. There we are, Freeport. We should have 11.4 tons of fuel on board. And we've got 13.6. We've saved 2.2 tons of fuel. Yeah, something's not right with the fuel burn. The standard the fuel burn here. I'm just don't need to do that. Anyway. Right, look, we're past Freeport at 30,000 feet. I'm just going to sort of descend a little bit quicker now, just to get to level at 240, because I want to try and calculate a new top of descent point. We'll base it off 24,000 feet. Again, remember we want to be at 6,000 feet, so 24,600, we need to lose 18,000 feet. 18 times 3 is 54. So we add 54 to the remaining distance on that flight plan. So that remaining distance at Curé, 21. So basically when we're 21 plus whatever I said, I can't remember what I said now. 18 times 3, wasn't it? 54 plus 21 is 75. So 70... Oh, there's a helper on the pay PFB thing, we're not using that.
American 2225, maintain level 330.
So 75 miles, there's no distance really. Hanks 47. Well, we can actually just go off Ziva. The INS even. So look, Hanks is going to be there in 10 minutes. 26 miles, so I need about 8,000 feet. So 8,000 feet plus 6,000 feet. It's 14,000 feet at Hanks, and that's in 10 minutes. So we need to lose 14,000 feet in 10 minutes.
18, reduce speed to 180.
So what's that about? Yeah, 1,400 feet per minute. It's not the most efficient descent, but sort of the CDA at least.
Runway 1 left.
One left visual, one seen on
But I like, it's good fun to work this stuff out. It's good for your brain. Good mental arithmetic. I know it's only multiplying, but it's good to practice all this stuff. We are very spoiled with VNAV.
Virgin 6605, heavy expect RNAV Yankee runway.
So ideally we would have delayed our descent in the middle of an idle thrust. Not the most efficient, but we've saved 2.5 tons of fuel in 1 hour, 20-minute flight time. So Miami Center Delta 1010. Just for planning purposes, we'd like to fly flight plan route Hanks, Curé, and then we'll fly the DME arc onto runway 14, please.
Delta 1010 doesn't matter to me after Hanks. I don't control it. Cross Hanks at 13,000. Nassau altimeter 3013.
Fair enough. Descending 13,000 to be level Hanks. Delta 1010.
American 341. Clear direction 8.
I was trying to make it.
3,000.
Trying to make his life easier. Give him a little bit of a plan for me. He doesn't give a flying, you know what.
Cleared RNAV Yankee 24 for.
What a wasted radio call. Right, 13,000 feet. He wants me level at Hanks. And we can work this out, look, because we've got time here, which is great. We need to lose 13,000 feet to be level at 13,000 feet, so at 26,000 feet in 8 minutes. So we need to be doing 1,600 feet per minute. Let's do it 1,700 and I'm definitely level and he'll be happy.
0253, propose offline, radar service terminated.
Center's having a day. Oh dear.
Up to 833, reduce speed to...
That's so funny. I mean, I gave a plan, I spoke really professional on the radio, saying, yeah, I'll do DME arc, you know, so you don't have to, you know, lower your workload. Yeah, not doing it, don't care. Be level 13,000 feet, Hanks, bye.
Increase your airspeed 180 knots to 5 miles.
I can't wait till he signs me off, I'll be like...
Goodbye!
Up to 833 visual.
Anyway, look, we've got a plan. We've got a good VS to do a CDA to be level at 13,000 feet. Mental maths.
2063, keep the speed up runway 9 clear.
I maintain 270 knots in descent. Right, anyway, look, nav aids.
Envoy 534 cross Moans at 13,000.
Courses, I'm going to set 143 for the final approach. Actually, no, hold on. I need this inbound course from 003 inbound, so the reciprocal is 183.
Alpaca 875 cross Ray J at 13,000. Nassau 3013.
Cross Ray J at 13,000.
Oh, if I should fly like this to Frankfurt, a busy VATSIM event, my goodness.
American 2212 cross Ray J across.
Right, 183, 183, 183. So that's the inbound course to Curé. Then I'll have to change the course to 143. We need to tune in Nassau VOR now, 12.7.
462, descend via Bonefish 3 arrival, except maintain 16,000.
And I'm already going to put the ILS on box 1, which is 1101.
Descend via the Bonefish 3 arrival.
So, just for situation awareness, when you're en route, if I put this as an overlay here, you can see we're inbound to Hanks. Excuse me. We need to intercept the 003 inbound.
Not a hard
so what?
Arrival, but just maintain
183, and you can already see what radio we're on. So look at the tail of this needle. Tail of this needle is 336. We just need to monitor the tail of this. So when it's approaching 003, we know we're about to intercept the radial. So keep an eye on your RMI.
Just want to maintain 6,000. Expect our Brody.
Alright, 240, heading down to 6,000. We head for Brody 6605.
Maiden.
Just expect Brody.
14 Alpha, evening all. Hello, flight descent. Been consistently missing the streams. Glad to see we've regressed to the 60s. We have. Old school. Anyway, there's the Bahamas. Look at that beautiful scenery.
Edelweiss 2.
I'm half tempted to ignore his radio call.
November 75 Sierra Papa, we do not have airport in sight.
Flight level.
You know what I might say? Do you know what I should say? Approaching Hanks. I'll be like Delta 1010, approaching Hanks. See ya.
Cross C car level 130.
Anyway, this is the perfect route for us today. That's
Go
2
down
tons
to
flying in.
the-
Anyway, it sounds like I'm doing the DME arc.
Delta 464, my center, good afternoon, just to maintain level 360.
Right, coming up to the transition altitude. What was the altimeter setting? 110 at 14 knots, altimeter 3013. So if I bring it up here for you, there you go. If I press the magic B button, yeah, is that going to do it? No, standard. So I'll just set it manually. 3013.
Unable PDC, clear to Asheville, highs one departure,
Oh, well,
candidate
set.
transition, climb be assist. Departure of the frequency squawk
Oh,
11.
my tablet! Where's it gone? How do I get my tablet back? That's got all my speeds on. Guys, guys! Where's the click spot for the tablet? Oh, I've just discovered this amazing tiller. But I quite like my tablet back.
605, heavy clearance,
So I know the
Roadie,
click spot.
Above 3000, clear on heavy Yankee, runway 24 approach.
Alright, left turn, direct, Roadie, down to 3000, and clear to RNAV, Yankee 24 approach for the 60.
Guys, tablet shortcut.
American 341,
Let me get the manual up quickly. Black button on the glare shield. Thank you.
20 knots for Rody for American.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you, D1G1 Town 3RC. You are my saviour.
Legion 1881.
I can't even remember what I was going to do. Oh yes, menu, autocomplete. Let's do the descent checks.
Copy, descent flow, going through it.
Thank you.
At least American 1818, runway 9 clear to land number 2.
Right. I've set QNH ready and hopefully set the landing elevation. Next is the approach checklist where he does something to the fuel. We'll utilise him. Great. Stretch edits. Didn't know you could get rid of it. Now you do. Thank you to D1G1 Town 3RC. Hello, pseudocodec. Lol, digital merc. D1G1 or whatever. I can't even get that saying. Ruben, my departure out of Heathrow, the TriStar was really old school. 2 NDB intercepts right after takeoff. Very cool. Yeah, engineer seating his bike. Yes.
Delta 1010, NASA's offline, freak change approved.
Cheers, Delta 1010. Have a good day.
Good day. Version 1.
Oh, you said goodbye. Has anyone got the CTAF frequency? Is it the same as the tower? Tower frequency. Is it 1 to 1 decimal 0? Oh no, is it 1195? I'm sort of glad he's gone. Metal CTF, brilliant. Anyway, look, we're looking good here for our excuse me, level at, what did you want me at? Level at 13,000 feet. 3,000 feet to go there in 3.4 minutes. It's great. 1,700. I'll just crank up to 1,800. And then again, we can use the time once we get to Hanks to work out. Remember, we want to be level 6,000 feet at Kourou. Anyway, I'll put the seatbelt signs on. They've been on the whole flight, but there you go. We'll imagine they weren't. Dear. I like this add-on. It's got its quirks. It's got a few issues here and there. But I think a lot of the issues we experienced today was some user error. But there's certainly some of the systems generally seem to be quite modelled well. There's a few things here. I mean, look, my diff pressure is still, well, now it's back as it was, 9.1 psi, cabin altitude 0, and it's sustaining this diff pressure with no change in the cabin rate of climb. So I don't know what it does. Does it just dump all the air, open the outflow valves after touchdown? I'm not sure. Oh, Domino, yes, we were talking about this yesterday. Out of 10, would I give this add-on? I would give it a 3 out of 5. That'd be 6 stars, wouldn't it? I'd give it a 7 out of 10. So it's 3.5 TriStars. So not 3 stars. It's a 7.5 out of 10. Livox says, use your brain a bit in regards to what? I am having to use my brain hard. Hello, 90Ts. Had a Delta flight the TriStar to Charlie Lima Echo back in the 90s. Near 0 conditions in snow. Waterland, Greece to landing. Oh, amazing. But there we are, look. 13,000 feet levelling off. It sort of does a very abrupt level off and then sort of descends a little quicker. But look, remember, tail of the needle. We're on the radial 355 now. We want to intercept the 003 inbound. So look, we can now actually switch over to some more conventional navigating. So what I'm going to do is match the heading bug just when we're about 4 miles. I'll go heading select. Switch off INS. The course is already aligned to 183. And it will give us intercept for the HSI. Steve, what brain? Unbelievable. Have you flown this to Kaitak yet? Flew to from Narita. It was loads of fun. No, I haven't done that yet. Anyway, coming up to Hanks. Gosh, did I just see my display blink? Well, just level off at 13,000 feet for a short while. Anyway, look, let's go heading select. A couple of degrees to the right. Bye-bye INS. Radio. Look at the HSI coming in. You could have radio as well, Jim. And we can select lock. I'll select VOR even. There we are. It's because it's the same with the 7.3. You press VOR lock for the radial. Anyway, VOR, that's done the trick. And now we've got 5 minutes until we need to be at 6,000 feet. No, 4 minutes apparently. 4 minutes to be at 6,000 feet. So let's start descending. 7,000 feet to lose in 5 minutes. So 1,500 feet per minute should do us. So let's select a vertical speed. 1,500. And we're going to start reducing the speed to 50 knots. And Nassau will be on the nose. There's the island. So next thing's DME arc, guys. 38.6 miles to run. Guys, you just joined in. Welcome on board the iniBuilds Lockheed L-1011 TriStar. We are currently inbound to Nassau on the 003 radial, where you're going to watch me attempt to fly a 14-mile DME arc onto ILS runway 14. We love a good old DME arc on this channel, and hopefully arrive there in one piece. Perfect. 4 minutes to run. I'm going to be at 11,000 feet, so I need to lose 5,000 feet in 4 minutes. So that's require a rate of descent of about 1,200, 1,300 feet per minute. I'll go 1,400. I don't mind a brief level segment at 6,000 feet. In fact, I can keep descending. The MSA is 1,500 feet within 25 miles, so no issues there. Why DME arc so far away from the airport? Well, it's designed of the aircraft. In a Cessna Piper, 8 miles would work fine, but in an aircraft like this, to roll out on a 8-mile DME arc, you'll be turning fine, you'll be at 6 miles already, so... Watching your arcing very closely, you will be assessed. Like it's a check ride. Right, reducing speed to 20 knots. Actually, oh no, hold on, I'm alright, I want to keep the speed up a bit longer. It's a little bit dark in here. How do you get the instrument lighting up in this tank? Lights, controls. Exterior light controls are there. Interior lights are all here. Flood, there we are, instruments. Oh yeah, that's a little brighter. And where's the engine instrument lights there? Lighting's nice, but it's the engine instruments I'd like to turn up a little bit. Bottom right of the overhead. Panel lights, I think that's the overhead lighting here for there. Unless it's on the engineer's panel. Nope. Diff pressure still maximum 9.1 psi. Below the parking brake, thank you. Thank you. Well spotted, guys. That's better. Okay, cool. So 26 miles to run. Approaching 9,000 feet. There's the island. The airport will be dead ahead of us, but remember we're going to intercept this DME arc. 14 miles. INS, we can start using other pages. So I would like distance time actually up for now. Actually no, I want ground speed. There we are. So 288 knots ground speed. Used ground speed for navigation. Yeah, the windows are tinted. Is there a way to detint the windows? They're definitely darker. Because if I look here and go outside, you can see it is a little darker. Post-cruise checks, actually. Lights on. Strobes have been off the whole flight, never mind. Set. Checks complete. Alright, 22 miles, 14 miles. We'll start working out our intercept point. We're going to start the approach checklist now.
Yeah, Cap, I'll get the stand by.
Yeah, Cap. Yeah, Cap, cheers.
Captain, flow complete. Back to you now.
Oh no. News guys on. I'm not sure about this ultra slick engineer behind me. Cap. Anyway, what's on the ground is... Oh, I need to work out our turn. So, ground speed 280 knots. 2.8 miles from the 14 DME arc. I should have the charts up here, really, shouldn't I? Ah! Approach. Oh, that's what for. Pinned. Right, 14 plus 2.8 is 16.8 DME. I need to start my turn. Oh my god, I'm already there. 16.8 DME. I'll offset the heading bug. Right turn. 270 initially. 27, 2.8, so 16.7 miles. Get ready. Is this one 16.9, 16.8, 16.7, heading select. And we go. 6,000 feet, 400 feet off my altitude. I'm going to keep descending now to 2,000 feet. Out cap. No, I want VS now, please. Just to do 1,000 feet per minute. Nassau traffic, Delta 1010, good evening. We're on a 14 mile DME arc after Zulu Quebec Alpha for runway 14. Okay, so we should be rolling out on the 14 mile arc. There's my little aeroplane. No. Look at that, 14.4, 14.3, 14.2, 14.1. I'm going to be turning a little bit inside it maybe. Or am I not? 14 mile DME arc! Yes! A little bit within it, but that's okay. 13.8. Uh-oh. I think with your eye is it within a mile? You've got to stay within a nautical mile. So look, we'll just delay the turn slightly. I'm going to start... Oh gosh, 250 knots, that's no good. Let's reduce the up speed. Which was about 208 knots, wasn't it? Do 210. Alright, I'm already turning away, which is good. See how the tail of the needle's above 90 degrees? That means I'm going away, so we'll turn 10 now. 260. There we are. I'm pretty pleased with that, guys. I'm already approaching... I'm already halfway around the arc. 14.2, so another 10 degrees. This is where you've got to be really quick. Final approach course for the ILS, 143. It does not matter if we change this here because we're not using the HSI. I'll have to change the ILS last second. We need to turn on the 329 radial. Gosh, 14.4. Oh, I'm not turning quick enough. I'm going to do a 20 degree turn. 230. 14.5. 1 point deducted for every 0.1. This is too much going on. But that steep turn is going to point us back towards the station.
Traffic up back 875, ILS.
And the tail of the needle's almost on 329. You know what? Intercept heading go. Switch to the ILS. 1101.
Flaps 4.
Flaps 4. Reduce speed. 190 knots for now. Oh my god! Look at the glide slope! Oh, you can't teach this. You just this level of skill is unbelievable. Lockheed can't teach it. 1 dot low. Oh, I love it. Love it when a plan comes together. Another notch of flops. 180 knots. Can't teach it. Yes. Test sectors help. I knew what altitude I needed to be at this point. Localize alive, localize and capture. Runway heading 143 sets. CDA, yes please. RLS armed. Localizer glide slope capture. Missed approach altitude 2,000 feet set. 180 knots and 12 miles. Oh, I just... right. Now, I can confirm for my test sectors, the aircraft isn't very good at flying localizers. Why is it not bang on? The aircraft, look, I'm on. The localizer is engaged in ACFS and glide slope. It's following the localizer glide slope, but it ain't following the localizer. There's no offset. This is completely lined up with the runway. But it's showing a third of the dot to the left, and you can see outside visually, look. it's not quite lined up. So, yeah. Localizer close enough for the 70s. Anyway, 170. Let's go to the landing forwards page. Love these speeds. 168 knots for flap 10, which is what I have selected. I love this flap display as well. 230 knots max. I think that's the gear warning horn, so the thrust is low. So fair enough. We'll configure now. Oh, it's a bit early. Drop the gear. It's a bit early. 8 miles, 8.7. Well, I suppose for this sort of aircraft it's fine. Flap 22, 158 knots.
Flaps 14.
Oh, it's gone to AOA mode. Ooh, is this some sort of... Oh, really? I wasn't even going that slow. I'm staying on the glide slope though. Yeah, but now I can't control the speed. I'll just keep bringing the flaps out.
Flaps 18. Flaps 22.
Oh, it's gone back to IIS. How strange. So, I wasn't going that slow for the flap speed. I actually bugged 168 knots, which is the flap 10 speed, but it went to some sort of AOA safety mode. Airbus stuff. 143, V approach. But surely, it should stay in AOA mode would be close to Alpha Floor and an Airbus, but why did it go into that mode? The flap 10 speed is 168 knots. I had flap 10, bug 168, and all of a sudden the autothrottle, and it's done it again, look. Why can't the autothrottle maintain this sort of speed? Well, there's one easy way to deal with it, my thrust. Is that a bug, or is that another thing? And look at this, look, bang on localizer, bang on glide slope. Why is it deviating from the localizer? Look, it's not lined up at all. Speed. Surely that's not a bug of the add-on. So look, it's beginning to deviate from the glide slope. Is it AOA autothrottle mode? But look, localizer glide slope pictured. Why am I 1 dot low on the glide slope, and why am I 1 dot left on the localizer? I mean, yeah, if it was foggy, I'd be... Oh yeah, I've pushed over by now. Is this an iniBuild-ism? Or is this actually something wrong with my add-on? I don't know. Anyway, look, it's not... It's back on the glide slope, but the localizer, it's not on the that. Anyway, look, let's have some fun. Disconnecting. Nassau traffic, Delta 1010, short final, runway 14. Alright. So I got rid of the flight director, but the autopilot's on, but...
Nassau traffic with jet November 1 Whiskey Alpha, holding short hotel, runway 14 for landing traffic, Nassau traffic.
Speed. But yeah, you know, it's a fantastic add-on. Really like it. It should be able to fly a localizer and glide slope incredibly accurately. I mean, this aircraft's certified for Cat 3. You know, if you've got deviations of 1 dot glide slope and localizer, it ain't going to do it at autoland. Well, not a very good one. Anyway, 2 reds, 2 whites. Yeah, it handles nicely. Feels like a big wide body jet. Speed. 3 whites, keep flying. Watch the rate of descent. Speed's getting a little tad low, about 3 knots too slow. Alright, there we are. Speed's back under control. Good. Here we go. Forgot to do replay, didn't I? Brilliant. 50, that's that it? Close. That'll do. Right, speed brake. I didn't arm it. Reverses. That was definitely a butter. 100 knots. The rudder input seems to be a bit delayed as well. So if I press right rudder, it takes us half a second for it to come through. Manual braking. Cancel reverse. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nassau anyway. Braking quite hard here. There we are, brakes off. Cool. Alright. We can land it, that's the main thing. Let's check the brake temperature. Not working. Still 0 degrees, unfortunately. This happened on my test sector as well, so the brake temperature gauge doesn't work. There we are, we Lockheeded. Is that the first ever time we've flown a Lockheed as well? But look, yeah, 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 add-on, guys. Good investment. Looking forward to seeing some updates to fix some of the issues we suffered from today. Stock Nassau scene, I'm afraid. So you're going to get lights sporadically appear everywhere on the taxiway, including right in the middle, and some random buildings. But it'll do for us today. Alright. Let's now get the engineer to do some work. Menu. After landing float. Complete.
Running after landing checks now. One moment.
That was a little bit more professional. Right, anyway, look, we're on the parallel taxiway here in Nassau.
That last flow was completed as requested.
Thanks for letting me know. Right, look, it's stock scenery. I really don't know where we should attempt to park. Let's have a look here. What's a wide-body jet stand? That C-41 is calling me out. In fact, you know what? I might utilise the GSX. Oh, apparently only one gate suitable. Alright, I won't use GSX. I'll just attempt to park at Charlie 41 and go from there. But yeah, look, 7 out of 10. iniBuilds make some really nice add-ons, and this is one of their nice add-ons. If you want to fly a TriStar, I think that you can have a lot of fun with this. The autopilot seems to be behaving itself on my test sectors. It's struggling to maintain altitude occasionally, but it did a reasonably good job today. The Seaver Linton 9S seems to be really well modelled. You know, it was doing all the things it needed to do laterally. Handles nicely. The rudder feels a bit delayed. If you notice, if I press right, look, and then left, it's like I don't know, it is a big jet to be fair, but on the takeoff and landing roll, it's certainly like you push the rudder and it takes a second for it to sort of do anything. Again, it could be something that's sort of familiar with wide-body jets, but I've not experienced that with sort of like, you know, PMDG 777s, the A340 wide-body jets, and all the aircraft within Microsoft Flight Simulator have flown and X-Plane. So it does feel a bit different in that regard, but it does feel big and sluggish on final, check close hold, landing technique, whatever you do here, it flies nicely in that regard. Systems-wise, I think overall most systems are modelled well. Oh, are we still at 9.1 psi? Or has it depressurised? We've depressurised, ladies and gentlemen. That's good. So it's, yeah, little things like that. You know, there's a lot of systems modelled. You know, seem to be working well. I need to stow the speed brakes. But things like, you know, brake temperature doesn't work. The pressurisation schedule's a bit wonky. Yeah, you know, it's a complex aircraft model. So like I said, 7 out of 10. Give it a 7 out of 10 flight deck to sim official score. Anyway, where was this stand? Look, we're going to go for a new stand here. We'll try Bravo 30 in this corner. I hope the engineer started my APU. He has. Excellent work, engineer. Next flow is parking. Rather the steering was a little laggy like this than the twitchy PMDG. Yeah, that is a bit twitchy in the PMDG. It's okay, they've improved. It feels a lot better in 2024 than 2020 did, that's for sure. Alright, there we are, totally understand. Anyway, I haven't done any actions myself. Flaps up.
Flaps 22, flaps 0.
Lights off. Goodness knows. Park here. Oh, I thought I stowed the speed brake. Oh, yeah. Interesting gibberish design, but like I said, stock airport. Flaps retracting now. Yeah, the external model's fantastic. It looks really good. Right, parking brake sets. Let's see what he does with the parking checklist. Does he shut the engines down for you?
Let's see. Parking flow. Ah, yep. Give me a second.
I like this guy. He's doing his thing. Oh, he shut the engines.
Done. You're welcome.
He shut the engines. No. How has he shut my engines down using the flow? Has he done some? Surely you turn these off instead of the whatever he's done. He seems to have opened these guards and done something. That's a non-standard shutdown, surely. Oh right. Well, there must be another way of shutting the engines down. But thank you, my illustrious engineer, for shutting the engines down prematurely. I wasn't expecting that, but we'll take it. There we are, down anyway. Let's have a little look outside. Sorry, I forgot to start the replay tool. There we are. Do I dare use GSX to unload? Oh, it's recognised this as the gate. I think it's going to use stairs and a floating person. There we are anyway. Hopefully it will use the all three doors like I did on my test sector, which would be quite cool. So I think there's a GSX update now. Someone was saying in Discord chat yesterday that if it doesn't recognise the air bridge, it defaults to offloading with stairs, which is quite cool. Well, that's butter parking. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Guys, can you witness? Everything's going right today. CDL to glide slope, butter parking. I remember taking a picture and butt apart the 737. I put it on Instagram, I think. Splendid. There we are. Anyway, look, we've already sort of debriefed the aircraft on the taxi-in. 7 out of 10. Nice job, iniBuilds. They've done a good job. Most of it seems to be working really, really nicely. So I'd say go give it a go, and hopefully they'll bring some updates in to make it work. Larry, most kind, sir. Thank you.
£5 for my airfare today. Enjoy a cold brew.
Cheers, Larry. Thank you very much. Well, we were meant to go to the pub today because it was a lovely day here in the UK, but I was running a bit late with a few things, and I would have had my first cider of the year. It was that nice. Sat outside. But next time I'll buy the cider and I'll raise a drink to you, Larry. Thank you very much for your $6.61, which is equivalent to £5, most guys. So thank you very much. So yeah, what did you think of DLC on the approach? Now, is this funky speed brake which comes up to control the speed? I didn't really feel it or notice it or anything like that. Or are you referring to something completely different, Aaron? I have no clue. But it flew quite nicely. My understanding is the speed brake extends and retracts automatically to aid in pitch in some way, but I did read a little bit about it in the manual, but it felt good enough to me. But yeah, it was nice add-on, you know. And yeah, look, it's taken some time to learn to fly this, so I will probably fly it again within the next week or two. I'm happy to take it on VATSIM. I've got to be very careful with where we choose to fly it because of the inability with INS to fly complex RNAV arrivals. It's not certified. BRNAV only is fine for very basic arrivals, but there's plenty of destinations like this one here which have conventional arrivals, or one where I can request vectors or VOR, but it'll be quite good fun to take onto a busy VATSIM event. I'll chat to some of our livery designers, see if we can get an Alpaca Airways one up and running. But yeah, look, nice add-on, good stream, and yeah, iniBuilds, if you have any feedback for them from my stream, you noticed anything, feel free to let them know. I joined their server, I've been in their Discord server for a long time, so I can sort of see feedback which helped me prepare for this. So bugs and issues that people were having, for example, this aircraft's being streamed at the moment, not downloaded, because the Navigraph charts weren't working with the downloaded version. But, you know, aircraft like this, which are quite complex, when they're released, people find more issues, and then there's usually quite quick bug fixes to fix any major ones. But look, it got from A to B really nicely. Anyway, look, sorry I didn't start the replay. I can hopefully see the passengers come off soon. Looks like they're only getting off at the back, but or maybe they don't want to leave. They're just so happy on their L-1011 TriStar, but there we are. Anyway, Jamlin is already playing around with the paint kit. Awesome. So hopefully we'll next fly this will fly Alpaca Airways. Jamlin, you've got the paint kit and having a play of it. 6 fuselage sections. So that sounds complicated, but best of lucks. Yeah, you notice those stay very static in pitch. It's a very interesting feeling. Oh, I didn't really notice that in pitch there, but I have heard about the system, which is quite nice. But yeah, nice approach, nice landing. At least you got taxi lines on the default series. Yeah, absolutely. They're all strapped in. Yeah, I don't know why they're not getting off, but I'm going to leave the stream now. Guys, next stream, I've got a really busy weekend, seeing some friends, seeing some family. I have some annual leave at the moment, so maybe something Saturday, Sunday evening next week. But like I say, best thing to do is like the video. We don't need to do that, but if you would, that'd be great. But subscribe, push the bell icon, that way you're notified when I publish a stream. And if you did enjoy it, of course, like, helps the channel a lot. But thanks to everyone that donated, for all the members for your gifted members today from Edo. Thank you guys for your support, really appreciated. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you on another live stream very soon. Very good evening.